cancel culture is about canceling.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
Systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that they
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records ain't sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
it's one like this, it's one like this. Immaculate conception, not transform like this, perform like this. Wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate. Then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness. I just push cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
We'll see who cancels who.
They want you to comply.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How's it going, everyone?
Wait, Matt, did you get a mullet?
Matt, you're muted.
You're still muted, Matt.
Still muted.
You're still muted. Ariana's coming in hard after last
No,
week.
I'm just asking if it's a mullet or not. Okay, I think everyone's wondering. I can't be the only one.
You're still muted. Oh, it is a mullet.
What is a mullet? Are you
Matt,
bringing the
you're
mullet?
Muted.
Actually, he can't respond. This is unfair.
We could just roast him and he can't say shit. Back. Go ahead, Ariana.
No, I was just wondering if it was a mullet, okay? Like, geez.
It is actually, I think. Not yet. Still
can't hear you.
Might be in your settings in the
yeah. By the way, Rebecca and David will not be here tonight, or ever. They were kicked off the show, so we're going forward as a strong four. We have to redo the intro again. Lance and I have a lot of work.
It's true. The leftist.
Hello.
Now.
Hey, there we go.
No, what I was saying was, I mean, yeah, I guess it's a mullet, but it's a mohawk if you don't do anything with.
I see.
Mullet. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't a mohawk need you to
it
shave
looks cool.
the sides off completely?
I mean, this is what I had.
I like
had
it.
This was the haircut I had. Is that my hair grew all together? You just couldn't tell that the middle was longer.
Oh, I see. It looks really good, actually.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to give myself a mohawk.
The middle. I didn't mean to cut the middle so short. I just wanted to shave the sides and then like cut the dead ends, and then I just cut too much. So I just gave myself an overall haircut.
Wait, you guys cut your own hair?
The middle. Well, my wife.
I cut my own hair.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I do.
I mean, I probably could do it if I could see the back. I can't do the back. That's very hard.
Yeah, my back is fucked up. You all can't see that. It looks okay in the front, but my back, I've got like rat bites and it's all uneven and fucked up. But you know, the front, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
business in the front, chaos in the back.
When the sides were shaved, before I started trimming the middle was so long. It looked so good, man. I don't know why I cut too much. I feel so terrible about it. The middle was so fucking long. It was awesome. Oh well. It'll grow back.
It will. Yeah. Mike has Hank Hill hair.
Clean up your room.
I'm gonna ban you for saying that. Okay, you try cutting your own hair. Okay, it's not that easy. It's very difficult, actually.
I'm gonna turn off the.
Well, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so are we all gearing up to become debate lords against our family members and own them? Because I'm not going to debate anyone. I'm not going to do it. I can't.
I mean, I don't have any conservative family.
Must be
that's
nice.
coming. So I mean, I'm sure there are.
yeah,
They're just
it's
like my
coming.
immediate family. None of them are conservatives. I mean, my brother is a banker, so there's possibility that he has some underlying conservatism. But as far as I know, he's not a Republican.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I can't answer. As the only Canadian on the show now, I don't have Thanksgiving tomorrow. But Ariana, I'm sure you have your own conservative family member stories.
You know, I was just actually having this conversation with Mike before we hopped on, but you know what I find really perplexing is that, so for example, I'm not going to sit here and talk about medicine because I don't know anything about medicine. Like, I just don't. But for some reason, Americans feel so comfortable talking about politics when they literally do not understand the basics of how the government works. And you ask them how many people are in Congress and Senate, and they'll just stare at you. They have no clue. So it's just the whole concept is just so irritating to me because I went to Austria about 2 years ago in the summer, and I was trying to interview people about the abortion ban because Roe v. Wade had just gotten overturned. And no Austrian was willing to talk to me because they were like, I don't really know anything about that, so I'm not going to talk about it. And I was like, you know what? After 3 hours of trying to get random people to talk to me about abortion bans, I was like, I respect it. Because in America, everyone has an opinion about something that they just don't know. So, sorry, that's my tangent.
We embody Dunning-Kruger in this country, and that has become so crystal clear to me after this election, and really after 2016. Just a lot of people talk a lot of shit when they don't really know anything. But like on the note of Thanksgiving and debating family, I always tell people, don't waste your breath. It's just not worth it because you're not going to convince them over dinner, and you're just going to spoil the mood and spoil your mood. So it's just not worth it. I would say don't argue with your conservative family members. I know that it's going to be hard not to because they're going to try to bait you and drop these passive aggressive comments. I've been there before. I know it and I hear it and it gets under my skin. Don't give them what they want. Just enjoy what you can. Enjoy the pies. Get drunk. Have fun. Just ignore them. Like, let it roll off your shoulders because it's just going to ruin the mood. And you don't deserve that. I think we all deserve some space before Trump takes office. So don't give in. That's my advice.
On the flip side, I would recommend kill them.
Minecraft.
My CIA agent that is listening,
It's a joke. 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 No, I mean, just don't let them get like Mike said. Just ignore it. Just.
I know it's so hard. I've been baited so many times. So it's like I need to take my own advice. Thankfully, I will not be in an environment with conservatives tomorrow, to my knowledge. But I have been, and I take the bait so much, and I need to not do that. I've gotten better over the years, but it's just not good for anyone.
Let's put it this way. Listen, there's a famous story by one William Shakespeare called Titus Andronicus, and let's just say that tomorrow's a great day for pie. You're gonna need some ingredients. There you go. That's all I will say.
Also, I just want to bring up there's some people in the chat that are saying that we should rename the stream to Indigenous Peoples Day.
It's
that's a good point.
Heritage Month.
But Indigenous Peoples Day isn't tomorrow. It's
that's Columbus Day.
It's Columbus Day. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving.
Right. So what is the woke version of Thanksgiving? I'm fine with
Thanksgiving.
That. Oh, okay.
I don't think there's a woke version of it, right?
I'm down for the woke version. I'd prefer it, actually. If it would trigger conservatives. See, look at me. I'm like, don't take the bait, and I'm trying to trigger conservatives. Like a little prick.
You take the bait.
So there was a lot that happened this week. I'm not sure if you all had anything planned for the show. I did not plan ahead.
Going to war. We need to talk about that. All right. All of you are attacking me and Mexico. What the fuck is going on here? I was having a peaceful week, and now I had nightmare upon nightmare.
Wait, I'm so confused.
It's because
apparently Donald Trump is announcing a 25% tariff across the board on all Canadian imports, as well as a 25%
like that.
tariff on all Mexican imports. And
like that. I
the
agree.
only adult in the room is Claudia Sheinbaum, who is the president of Mexico.
We
No
should
one from Canada.
We should tariff Canada and we're gonna starting
You're going
today tariff Lance and David specifically. Every super chat or Twitch subscription they get, they need to pay us 25% of whatever their proceeds are.
Send it on in.
They've just been tariffed.
Just a heads up, if you, and Ariana and I were talking about this a little bit before stream, if you need to get a new laptop, a lot of electronics are manufactured in Mexico. I would say jump on that right now if you have the money. If you need to replace your laptop or buy a computer or a new phone, all of that is manufactured in Mexico. So the prices of those are going to go up. Also, if you need to buy a new car, I know that's not an impulse buy, but those are assembled in Canada and Mexico. So the cost is probably going to jump between $1,000 to $5,000. Assuming that Trump does this. I mean, we don't know with Donald Trump, but he's saying he's going to. So I think that it'd be wise to prepare. Groceries
you guys
are going
get 95% of your natural gas from Canada. 95%. You get the majority of your fresh water from British Columbia, the majority of your lumber from British Columbia. You get a huge amount of oil from Alberta and a lot of meat as well. Like if you're thinking a 25% across the board tariff for all that stuff, those aren't even manufactured products. The manufactured products are their own separate nightmare, but just get ready for everything across the board to cost so much more money. So much more money.
I don't think people
I don't know if you guys heard, but
he's
he's also putting tariffs on super chats. So get those in now before it's too late.
So there's a lot of plastic that's from Mexico. So anything that has plastic in it or that is like packaged in plastic, that's likely to go up as well.
So
it's
everything.
Just gonna be basically everything, aluminum, steel, that affects everything from homes to soda cans. So it's just going to be so disastrous. Agricultural products that come from Canada and Mexico, avocados, tomatoes, beef, cheese, dairy products, everything's going to go up if he follows through with this. I think that David had a pretty good argument in his video that like he's kind of bluffing and trying to position himself to say, oh, I got them to do something before they did it, like Mexico and Canada. But who knows? I mean, Trump genuinely does not understand that we have to pay the tariff. He thinks that the foreign companies or the foreign country has to pay it. He actually believes this. So it's going to be, if that happens, holy shit, it's going to be such a fucking disaster.
Yeah. To your point about cars, I only found out today that apparently a lot of cars that are manufactured go back and forth between Canada and the US, sometimes 7 to 8 times, depending on what cycle of development they are, which would mean that a lot of plants would just have to straight up move from one country to another. Otherwise, it doesn't make financial sense to pay tariffs 7 times going back and forth. The other really, really bad one is like, for anyone who doesn't know, for tariffs on cars, it like in theory would make sense in the way that it was originally proposed for, say, cheap Chinese EVs. I don't agree with this. I don't think you should do this. But the idea behind that being the US and Canada can't manufacture as good an EV as China can, as cheaply or as energy efficient or as long lasting. So if those cheap and amazing cars come into our country, it will destroy the local production of those cars. That's why you, in theory, would like make a tariff on it. I disagree with that. I think that like we should flood the market with affordable EVs so everyone can have one and we use less cars. But that notwithstanding, for just raw goods, it's going to be an absolute disaster. That's even before the retaliatory tariffs that Mexico and Canada will most likely do go into effect. Every single major company will have to include the incurred cost on importing all of the raw materials that they make all of your stuff with.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to pay that. Like people don't understand. There's still a lot of Trump supporters. Like there's some Trump supporters. Like if you go to the conservative subreddit, I did a video today about them like saying, oh, this is bad. But a lot, like the overwhelming majority, don't understand that it's effectively a sales tax. I don't know, man.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think everything's gonna be just great.
It's gonna be peach.
It could potentially collapse the global economy. It was one of the main factors that led to the Great Depression. It's one of the last pieces of the puzzle before full-blown fascism takes over, which is a complete economic collapse. So it it could be worst case scenario if you get away with it.
You know what though? If there's going to be a collapse, let it happen under Donald Trump or just a Republican presidency in general. Seriously, I mean, if it's going to happen, it better happen under them. There'll be blowback in about 4 years.
Ideally, if he doesn't suddenly assume total power, that's the
I think if what we're talking about happens, like if he really does all this and it really causes all this mayhem, there will be blowback, and I don't think, I'm not one of those people who think, there's not going to be any more elections.
At this stage, no. I think that's a little ridiculous. But I've also seen how quick people fall in line is kind of scary to me, especially like you've seen how fast liberals right now are like, we need to pivot to the right. Like the only solution to this is for us to go more right.
They're being stupid right now because they just lost.
Wait, did you guys see the Pod Save America interview?
Oh my god!
Play that clip.
We
Play
talk
that
about it because this is so like in line to what we're talking about.
That was mind blowing, Ariana.
Yeah, like I feel like we need to talk about that clip if we're gonna have this conversation.
Let's listen. Let's watch it.
Do we want to talk about the Harris not distancing herself?
Yeah, I want to talk about it all.
There was so much. I listened.
The whole podcast was wild.
Yeah, did you see the dislikes? Majority dislikes.
That's
which
good.
They're getting a lot of blowback. Thankfully, like, because I was listening to this and my thought was, oh my god, these people are so clueless and out of touch. The way that they were running a campaign was like they were playing an RPG, where it's like, okay, well, Trump campaign did this, so our response is going to be based off of, the percentage of success. So we focus group test this message and this message, and for once they never thought, why don't we just let Kamala be a human? Why doesn't she just like say what she believes, and if it's disagreeable, then it's disagreeable. At least she has some underlying philosophy. But like they portrayed her as this like robot, and they thought that they were successful, and they had this much hubris because even though she lost in every single swing state, she did better in swing states than she did in states like New York and whatnot. So the campaigning worked. They liked her. They just needed more time. When it's like, you don't get a mulligan though. I mean, like, you lost to Donald Trump. You don't get to pat yourself on the back and say, we did really great in areas X, Y, and Z, because you blew it. And one thing that bugged me is they didn't mention Gaza at all in the interview. Didn't even factor that in. Like, I don't know if that was determinative, but they just, nothing about Gaza. When she absolutely lost, millions of votes from that.
Yeah.
I mean, the simple fact that she did better in Wisconsin than Michigan says everything.
Exactly.
Wisconsin is a more conservative state than Michigan.
Right. So this is the clip where they ask the campaign manager about why she never distanced herself from Biden. This is mind-blowing to me.
On the Biden question, we of course got that everywhere we went. And we knew what the data was. We knew we had to show her as her own person and point to the future and not try to rehash the past. She also felt that she was part of the administration. And unless we said something like, well, I would have handled the border completely differently, we were never going to satisfy anybody. We were trying to tell a story and give the impression that she was different without pointing to a specific issue.
Can I ask this, why not a specific issue? Is this something she was unwilling to do? I mean, you weren't even feel disingenuous?
She felt like she was part of the administration, so why should she look back and cherry pick some things that she would have done differently when she was part of it? She had tremendous loyalty to President Biden. You've been on plenty of campaigns. Imagine if we said, well, we would have taken this approach on the border. Imagine the round of stories coming out after that of people saying, well, she never said that in the meeting, or what meeting when she said this, or I remember when she did that. And it wasn't going to give us what we needed because it wouldn't be a clean break. It would be, days upon days in a limited time window that we had of dealing of who, what, when, where. So the best we could do, and the most that she felt comfortable with, was saying, like, look, vice presidents never break with their presidents. The only time in recent memories when Pence broke with Trump after Trump stormed the Capitol.
They call that the murder exemption. If
That's the
the president tries to
only one
murder
you-
you, you can
right.
break. Yes. Yes.
If you are,
right
you know,
there,
ripping up the
shame on
Constitution.
him, shame on the podcast in that moment. You shouldn't be like, oh, okay, yeah, great, yeah, that's good to hear. It's like Trump was just the cost of Biden's ego. That's funny.
I feel like he
Right.
knew. I feel like he knew what was going to happen with this clip, though. Like I
Probably.
feel like
I mean,
he just knew.
They don't go on random shows. Clearly, they go on safe spaces where they're just
Mhm.
gonna have a nod and a smile, and you're just like, yeah.
Yes.
don't.
They
I
said they
don't
reached out to go on this podcast specifically.
I don't understand why they think any of that makes them sound good. In fact,
yeah.
it makes it sound even worse to me. Like I understood that Kamala Harris was stuck in a spot here, but I didn't realize this was the thinking in terms of breaking with the campaign. Like I understand the concern that it's going to come off disingenuous being that she's part of the administration. But the idea that it was also, and sounds like more so because she was actually loyal to Joe Biden. Who gives a fuck? Like there is nothing more important. Let's even just like put aside like the idea of like she has to win. Like just because it's an election, you want to win an election. Like this is the most defining thing you could possibly do in your life. Run for the presidency. And she felt she had to alter how she campaigned because of a loyalty to Joe Biden. Unbelievable. The only loyalty that should have been had was a absolute loyalty to winning by any means necessary. It is unbelievable that would factor, that anything
It would have
like
been
that would factor
embarrassing
into
if
this.
she had done that interview and said that during a victory lap. Like, let alone after a loss, right?
I mean, it's and then the idea that they cared about staffers coming out and like dropping stories about how Kamala, they didn't say this in the meeting. Who cares? Who cares? No one would have cared. No one, you know who would have cared? Fucking idiots that pay for Politico Pro or whatever the hell it's called. Like only the people stuck in the DC rooms, the meeting rooms and shit care about that stuff. No one cares about the little administration and congressional aide gossip in the hallways of the congressional. No one cares. You think like some guy...
It sounds very Aaron Sorkin.
You think like some voters in Wisconsin and Michigan would have been like, oh, well, I would have voted for Kamala, but I do wonder would Rebecca Smith, who works for the administration, leaked to Politico that Kamala didn't say that in the meeting. No one cares.
It's exhausting. And then there was a portion of it. I don't know if there's a clip for it available. I do have another clip, but they talked about the trans ad that Trump ran. And I was pleased to see that the takeaway from that from them wasn't, oh, this means that we have to throw trans people under the bus, even though some Democrats are signaling we're going to throw trans people under the bus. They were basically saying the reason why it was effective is because it made Kamala seem like she was out of touch with these like niche issues. And that's fine if that's the takeaway, but where they really went wrong was, and that's not why she was out of touch though, but where they went wrong is they decided to not respond to that. And this is part of the problem with the campaign. Rather than responding to Trump's xenophobia by trying to counter it, rather than responding, to transphobia with a counter message, they tested it. They said they tested different messages on focus groups, and they determined that no response would be successful, and just like focusing or ignoring it and focusing on something else, her bio would be better. And it's just, you can't do this. You are running a presidential campaign. You are trying to set the national agenda, and you're just letting transphobia go unchallenged. You're just letting xenophobia go unchallenged. And not only that, you're leaning into it, and you're ceding ground to them, and you're legitimizing the people in the Republican Party that were complaining about xenophobia. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me that they thought this was a good strategy, but every single thing that they did, Kamala could not fart without them focus group testing that fucking fart and seeing what the polls would say about the fart. It was ridiculous. I mean, this is why, like, it's clear now after watching this is why Kamala didn't do very many interviews because they were so hyper focused on every little thing that she said or didn't say, to the point where they just tried to hide her as much as possible because they thought that she would just like blow it. When, I mean, that's part of the problem. You have to be a human. This is not a robot. This is a human being. Let her go out there. Let her have gaffes. Trump was pantomiming dick sucking on the last days of the campaign. Kamala can afford to make a couple of mistakes. Just let her talk and speak from the heart. But I think the problem, and this is cynical, is that Kamala doesn't really have a political ideology. A lot of Democrats don't. It's just, what do I say to help me get elected? And this is part of the problem. This is why so many people feel like they're out of touch. This is why, like, the good policies that she was proposing, like the Medicare expansion, like the capping corporate price gouging. The reason why nobody was excited about that is because nobody believed her. Everybody thought that she was just saying that to get elected. I mean, Joe Biden ran on a public option. He didn't say shit about a public option after he got elected. So, like, nobody knows what the real beliefs are of these candidates. But there's another clip. This one is from David Plouffe, and he talks about how Democrats absolutely have to get the moderate vote. And it's wild to me, but watch it.
This one's gonna make
This is gonna make you mad. Just a forewarning.
All right.
We're gonna get
another
mad.
one of these. Wonderful. All right, let's do
This one might be worse than the last one, if I'm being honest. It just buckle up, Matt.
It's always worth reminding people, it's really hard for Democrats to win battleground states. Let's look at Pennsylvania. 25% of the electorate is liberal, roughly. 34% is conservative. By the way, in most battleground states, that conservative number is over 40. So in every battleground state, there's more conservative than liberals. So in Pennsylvania...
Okay, I just have to pause it right there because you already see the flaw in his thinking. 25% liberal, 35% conservative. There's a huge swath of people that are not mobilized, that aren't voting. That's what you have to go after. Mobilize the base. There's so many Democrats who don't vote. Like, a lot of people were saying, and this isn't like new. Before the election, people were saying this isn't a competition between Kamala and Trump. It's a competition between Kamala and the couch. She has to get young people out, non-voters out, in the way that Trump is able to mobilize non-traditional voters.
If exits are to believe, Trump won conservatives 91.8, Harris won liberals 93.6. Moderates, Harris won 56.43, but you kind of got to win 60% of them, right? For Democrats to win battleground states, it is a false choice. You want to maximize your base, of course. And that was a place where we spent enormous time, a lot of resources. That's critical. And obviously, I think in Milwaukee, just to use that as an example, we hit our turnout targets, fell a little bit short in Philly and Detroit. So that's not good. That's part of the equation. You've got to couple that with dominating in the middle, not just winning it a little. We have to dominate the moderate vote. And I think as we look ahead to 26 and 28, particularly where you have seen drift amongst non-college voters generally, particularly those of color specifically, we obviously have to get some of that back. We can't afford any more erosion there. The math just doesn't fucking work.
Amazing.
Is he talking about independents or is he talking about moderate or centrist?
He's talking
voters?
about actual moderates, like people in between Democrats and Republicans who are not progressive, but, you know, maybe like he's basically talking about the anti-Trump unicorn, like the anti-Trump Nikki Haley type voters. These people don't exist. This election should have taught them it doesn't. That's not a demographic that's going to win you elections, but every time they focus on that. And this is what they said in 2016. There was a clip of Chuck Schumer on C-SPAN where he was talking about for every progressive that we lose, we're going to pick up 2 suburban votes.
Oh, that's the old one from 2016 that they still are running on. Yeah, but
they haven't changed that playbook.
Right. I mean, the major problem is that their entire thinking is flawed completely, because the broad public, the broader public, do not look at these ideologies the same way that us like plugged in like people are. Like, people don't think of liberal, conservative, and moderate the way we do. They just don't. I hate to say it, but the vast majority of people probably think of liberal, and one of the things they think of, because it's been so ingrained due to the right-wing media that's just, you know, it's taken over the culture, is wokeness, like woke. They don't think about like left-wing policies that like, and like even like the political people are completely like wrong too when it comes to these ideologies, because they view liberal under this broad umbrella that includes like progressives and leftists. Like it's not that. Like you can't go by those things because people don't look at those all the same. People have completely different understandings of what liberal, moderate, and conservative mean. You have to really go by specific policies. I mean, there's been studies that show that when you go by policies and don't attach a policy to any ideology or any politician, most people really like progressive policy. Most people really like left-wing policy.
Yeah, I saw that list, but I was also thinking like it's really hard to do when you're already so deeply branded with the Democrats, like the big D, right? Like as she was at that time. So how do you separate yourself from that? How does a politician?
I think it's possible to do it. I mean, I think Bernie Sanders did a great job of doing that.
He was an independent.
But Bernie was always independent.
Yeah, but Bernie ran as a Democrat. Like I hate this idea that Bernie is an independent. Like, yeah, he's an independent because then it plays in Vermont, but broadly, he really is not. I mean, he literally is lockstep with the Democrats when it comes to votes, unless he's the one voting even more progressively. And you still hear people who aren't Democrats or progressives who either are both really into politics, not into politics, say that whatever you think about Bernie, he believes what he says. He's not lying to you. He's got integrity. And that's because he just is who he is. Like he still does what he does with the Democrats. Like I think the idea that Bernie is an independent is the same thing that Democrats try to do to knock him. Like the anti-Bernie Democrats. He's a Democrat in everything but name when it comes down to it. Look at his voting record.
I'm not disagreeing with your strategy. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Ariane.
No, go ahead. I'll talk after you.
Okay, I was just gonna say I'm not disagreeing with your strategy because I've always said that. I've always said that if you were to go and present yourself as like, hey, I want America to be communist, you would get zero support. If you said, hey, by the way, I want a whole bunch of like working class policies that help and benefit the workers of this country, 1% versus 99%. This is something we should be fighting for. Healthcare for all, Medicare for all, things like that. Then all of a sudden, yes, you start to surge in popularity like he did. But he started out with his first run for president. That was the first time when he was going up against Hillary Clinton that he was doing it under the Democratic ticket. And he knew he had to do that in order to gain broad support because it comes down to a two-party system, right? So someone has to do that both to be, to be able to translate those ideas on the national stage, but also not be pinned down by whatever the fuck this consultant class Democrat centrist bullshit is. And that second part is the really hard part to get away from.
I mean, that's sort of like what the brick wall that Bernie Sanders ran into, right? Like we never got to see Bernie run a national campaign with voters regardless of registration. We never got to see how he would do because he had to run as a Democrat because we got a two-party system. And that's when that whole him not being a Democrat resonated with some people. And unfortunately, in a Democratic primary, that's not a good thing to have. I think if you can solve that issue, and I think, I think if Bernie was a registered Democrat, but still was Bernie, he could have pulled it off. I think that independent label ended up not helping him in the broad run because he had to get through the Democratic primary.
Well, anyone does at the end of the day if you want to be the president.
Yeah.
So
I think it helped and hurt him. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it doesn't matter. Like, I think the problem is like policy wise, I think progressive policy is very important and it's a winning because that's what this is all about. But then I also think some of the stuff that you think helps you with progressives doesn't necessarily need to be done. Like that independent thing made Bernie seem like a real, progressive or outside, but what did it do for him in the broad? It didn't do nothing. It hurt him. He had to get through that. He had to get through the primaries. I think if he ended up just being a registered Democrat who ran in the primary on this, but everything else was the same, I think he would have done a lot better. Who knows what would have happened.
So I just kind of want to like what I'm going to say is going to be like a little broader scope about what happened this year, but I think, and y'all might not agree with me, but so I have a bigger platform on Instagram and TikTok. That's what I'm most known for. And so I know a lot of the Instagram content creators that have like 100,000, 200,000, all the way up to like 1 million followers. And so I had an idea of which ones were getting paid by either PACs that were aligned with Kamala's, campaign, or, were aligned with the campaign so much so to where they were, campaigning with them in their bus and going to Kamala's speeches and etc. Right. And I think one of the biggest flaws that this campaign had was that they were focusing on things that regular people who don't follow politics, quite frankly, don't give a shit about. So, for example, the whole messaging that they were giving, not because I was receiving those, I was receiving those things too, to like whatever, to make videos and whatnot. It was all Project 2025. If Trump gets elected, this is going to happen. If Trump gets elected, that's going to happen. And sure, that's true. But when people can barely afford to put food on their table, do you think they're going to care more about Project 2025, or am I going to be able to feed my children on Thanksgiving night? And I think there was kind of a disconnect with the messaging push, where it was like, it was a lot of this is going to happen if Trump gets elected, and not so much of, I like really recognizing the voters, because she didn't recognize Muslim or Middle Eastern voters at all. She didn't mention Islamophobia. She didn't mention the things that were happening against us, which Islamophobia is rising by the day. I mean, there are horrible stories that are coming out every single day, and those are just the ones that get picked up by news. But also, I just don't really think she addressed the issues that Americans are really worried about right now. And I think Trump kind of just went up there and was like, remember 2016 to 2019, the economy was great. I'm going to do that again. And a lot of people were like, cool, without actually understanding the depth of it or how he inherited Obama's economy.
Yeah.
So.
To your point, I think that 2016 already proved that running a campaign solely on negative partisanship does not work, because Hillary Clinton did the same thing. She had her Pied Piper strategy where she wanted to run against Donald Trump so she could basically just say, man, look at this. Do you really want this guy to be the president? And the base was suppressed. They did not turn out because she wasn't offering a vision. I think that Biden was lucky in the sense that he kind of Mr. Magoo'd him way into the presidency. I don't necessarily think that I don't think he ran like the best or worst campaign, but the circumstances were perfect for him. COVID-19 had hit and Donald Trump had botched the response. It was terrible. And so people viewed him as prolonging the pandemic, acting like a buffoon, not taking it seriously. There was also civil unrest, and Trump was just pouring gasoline on those flames. And so Biden was at the right place at the right time. But if he were to run, like if you could take 2020 and remove COVID and any of the protests, I think that Trump would have gotten reelected pretty easily. Because again, there's no vision.
She also only lost, I was doing the numbers, by when the final count came through, the popular vote, by 2.6 million. That's not a monstrously massive blowout gap by any extent. Like, the country didn't just suddenly pivot completely far right, like the narrative is being pushed. And she could have gotten over those key swing states in the exact way that Ariana was saying, if you had done even a modicum of appeal to Arab Americans, Muslim Americans, Gen Z, whose biggest galvanizing issue happens to be Gaza. If you had actually, reached out and said, I am actually going to be different from my predecessor, I'm going to change, I think that would have made a monstrous difference.
Yeah. Also, she had, campaign ads where it was like, do you guys remember that one campaign ad where it had a white woman going to the polls and her Republican partner or husband, I don't know, is like standing outside, and then she votes and it's like, oh, your vote is secret. He doesn't have to know that you voted for me.
I thought that was a good ad, actually.
No, but you're tapping into a market that's not going to flip. Suburban white women, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, since the 50s, they have been voting Republican by a majority. That's stats. Like, I'm not making that up.
I hate to say it, but it looks like with Trump, women 65 plus voted for Kamala, I believe. Like there was a flip there.
You think it was because of that ad? That wouldn't have been the
No, not
demographic.
because of that ad, but I do think that's the case with a lot of
That demographic
with
was
a lot of
what,
older people.
40 to 50.
Like I hate to
not
say it, but
boomers.
relationships were, couples didn't get together out of
Oh,
just love
I
back in the
think you're looking at the wrong thing. Obviously, I think it has a lot more to do with like reproductive rights and seeing younger generations having to go through and fight for that again.
No, that's part of it, but that's part of it.
A
but
much
that's
bigger part
something
than
that
like a
necessarily
campaign
for
where it's
a
like
husband wouldn't vote for too. But it seemed like that's the reason why Ann Seltzer's poll in Iowa. That's the speculation as to why it was so skewed, because it was a phone poll, and you had a bunch of 65 plus white people in Iowa picking up the phone, and they weren't as Republican as usual.
Was it really just landlines that she used
Yeah.
for her method?
That's
Really?
her methodology, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
that's kind of funny.
Wow. That's honestly shocking. I thought that
Landline politics.
yeah, like when I was like taking classes on research methodology, like even that was like almost 10 years ago now. It was like, no, you have to mix it up. You can't just do landlines because you're gonna oversample older folks. You have to, you have to do some surveys via, cell phones and whatnot. That's wild. Wow. So
I mean,
Ann
what
Seltzer
ended up
got
happening
lucky a lot of the
is
time with her
Ann Seltzer
methodology.
just happened to call like 1,000 Nancy Pelosi's kneeling during the Black Lives Matter protests. I mean, that's
crazy.
exactly what happened. Like, it was a skewed poll because she was calling Iowan calling Iowans, and older people were all picking up. And if you look at the demographics, it was Gen X that went fully for Trump, and boomers and millennials, they voted Kamala.
Interesting.
I think that again has to do with the landlines you're talking about. Then more than like I thought a lot of their ads were shit. Like at the end of the day, she spent 3 times the amount of money that Trump did on advertising, on not only radio ads, TV ads, on the Vegas Dome. They were running ads for like black men. Where it was
you
basically
read that article, right? Where it was like
Which
where Kamala spent her money, and it was like outrageous.
Oh, they were just wasting. They were wasting money. Never.
I didn't
Let me find it. Hold on. Let me find
Word
it.
to the wise: never, ever, ever, ever donate to a presidential campaign. They do not need your money. You're wasting your money. It's seriously, do not. If you want to donate to a political campaign, vote down donate down ballot, specifically like local races more so than anything. But if you need to, want to do it at a federal level race, house members more so than anything, because they, they need your donations more so than senators or governors or presidents. But definitely never, ever, ever donate to a presidential campaign. Just do not.
Yeah, you're just buying a coffee for a consultant.
Like, they get so much money from rich people who they're going to directly work for to appease them for their, to give into their interests. You are actively giving money to someone who is not going to do anything for that money. So do not ever donate to a presidential campaign. If you feel so strongly about a presidential candidate, donate your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make calls.
Well said.
Knock on doors.
Did you find the article, Ariana?
It's in the private chat.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Unless it's Bernie, as T. King points out, because Bernie was running
that is different.
A rare campaign in the primaries where he wasn't taking big money. He was only taking money from ordinary people who were donating small sums of money. I
was going to say, you got to add that caveat at the end.
Find me another candidate who you could give that caveat to. There's not.
I can't bring in the article because it's paywalled, and I don't have an account for New York Times. You're muted, Ariana.
Yeah, sorry. Is it actually paywall? Because I can see it, and I don't have New York Times.
Yeah, it is for me anyways. Are you able to read some of the highlights?
You may have maxed out your max thing. If you put a period between the HTTP // you can sometimes bypass those. Not that you should ever do that, because
well, I'm not going to try that, but I will say it's probably not going to be effective. Not that I would know. And I don't use 12-foot ladder ever to bypass these paywalls. But if
Like
I did,
I'm
it wouldn't
looking
work
at
on
some
New
of
York
the I'm looking at
Times.
some of the comments in the live stream chats now. It's just like I can't believe Kamala's campaign is still sending like emails asking for you to give
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Like I
Apparently they're in
don't.
debt. I don't.
Yeah,
That's
they're
what I
Why would
heard.
please make sure your grandparents and your parents are not like automatically sending money to the campaign. Like they set up like an automated thing before the election because they really were worried about Trump winning, so they were giving money to Kamala on like a subscription type basis, like an automated. You could set that up. Please make sure that's off. Certainly do not get, like I said, don't give money to a presidential campaign before for like elections. With that being said, certainly for sure do not donate to a losing campaign after the election. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Let them deal with it. Let them go to their big money donors to bail them out.
Yeah.
All you're doing is paying their debts. How does that help you? It does not. Does not. Do not donate to a campaign like that. Please do not.
So they averaged roughly spending around $100 million per week. And
wow.
Yeah. And that's just like an average.
They got all that money.
$4 million.
Spend it. They had to spend it.
$494 million on digital ads and television ads.
Wait, how much did they spend on television and digital ads?
$494 million.
You know what? Not enough. Not enough. If you have $1 billion campaign, how are you not putting all of it towards ads and on the ground stuff?
Wait, the Sphere cost them $900,000.
See that's a huge
what a waste
of
huge
$2.5 million directed towards 3 digital agencies that work with online influencers. $2.5 million.
Waste of money. Waste of money. They should have been wall-to-wall ads organized. But the problem is, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because the messaging sucked. Like the advertising can't help you if the ad itself sucks, if the product sucks, and the ad sucked.
The ad sucked.
The product sucked.
Yeah, Binder, did you see the ad where it was trying to appeal to black men and it had a guy who's like, he's very handsome, he's tall, and there's all these women that he's like trying to date, and they pop a balloon if it's like, you know, we don't want to be with you. And at first it's like, how tall are you? And he's like, you know, I'm so and so. How much do you make? I make over $100,000 a year. And then right afterwards, they're like, who are you gonna vote for? And he's like, oh, I haven't decided yet. And they all pop their balloons. And then it's like, and I was like, this is so condescending. Who is watching this ad and suddenly thinking like, holy shit, yeah, wow, I've really got to do this to, you know,
I think the concept is clever, but like, what a missed opportunity to like have the questions be policy related. Like, so you could have got across policy there, what they were voting for. You know what I mean? Like just you know, like just not voting for her or not knowing who to vote for being the turnoff is lame. They could have had policy questions. Like, I think the idea is actually pretty good because I've seen those videos. They always come up, like the actual balloon popping videos, like the dating show balloon popping videos. I've seen those come up on Facebook before. Like, but there's a missed opportunity when the messaging doesn't correlate. Like to me, the problem isn't $1.5 billion were spent in 15 weeks. I mean, of course, they only had 15 weeks and they got all this money. They needed to spend it fast. The problem isn't that they spent that much money. The problem is they spent that much money on shit.
Can I just say one more thing? I'm so sorry. I have to say this. Performances in the swing states, for example, bringing out Christina Aguilera in Nevada and Katy Perry in Pittsburgh. Reportedly, they didn't pay the artists themselves, but they did pay their support staff, is what they're saying. And that topped them a little over $10 million alone.
No
what was that for?
Yeah.
The celebrities. You know, every single time you'd be like, oh my God, Eminem's in Detroit. This is wild. I can't believe he's taking time out of his day to support a presidential candidate.
Free.
Yeah, that was not free. that was
paying
not
for a celebrity.
Donated time.
What was the $10 million spent on it?
It was
celebrities. all the
or
celebrities.
celebrity support staff. All the celebrities are denying that they personally got paid. But what they're saying is that they spent $10 million on celebrity support staff.
I guarantee you
the
that they
workers
found
working for
ways-
the celebrities.
Yes, apparently.
Yeah, the entourage. But then that's something where you could easily be like, all right, I want $2 million, and then you basically need $2 million less to pay your staff or whatever else you do, right?
Listen,
like,
I understand that, like, you let's say you want a celebrity to do this, and the celebrity is willing to take time out of their day, but they're saying like, but I don't want it to cost me money paying my staff to do this. I don't see how that costs $10 million though. I don't see like
$10 million.
like I don't see how that costs $10 million. I'm
That's very
sorry.
sus.
Also, they apparently spent money on building the Call
And
Me
also,
Daddy
I
set.
just think it's so
you hear
out
about
of
that?
Right.
That wasn't
No,
the podcast
yeah.
host set.
Yeah,
They
that's
made
so.
the set for
Why
her
did
for
they
that
make the
interview.
set though? I don't
I
understand.
didn't know that.
Yeah, the Kamala
So-
Harris campaign
Okay.
built that Call Me Daddy set just for that interview with Kamala. Like, that's not the podcast's regular set. I don't.
I just want to say there's two things, not to be like conspiracy tinfoil hat. I don't want to be like, I don't know for sure. Like, I'm this is just like my conspiracy, but for me, it's like I feel like the celebrity somehow got compensated through that 10 million. Like, I don't know what kind of loopholes would have had to be in play, but
it's
that's
very
one thing. But
easy.
another thing is like, we don't care about celebrities.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the vibes.
Yeah,
it's
I
what
mean,
makes
it's
it
easy to
about
go through the
celebrity.
loopholes, but then the overarching theme is that we just don't care.
I do think
Beyonce says Beyonce makes more money than I'll ever make in my life.
Yeah.
I do think celebrity endorsements do help somewhat, but when you have all these celebrities coming out and endorsing and they're not getting the message across as to why they're endorsing. Like, I actually thought Cardi B's endorsement was fantastic. Like, because you could tell she's legit, and she actually endorsed. Like, if you, I watched that endorsement when it happened, and it was like, this is good. Like, because she's political. Like, she really cares. You
She's
can tell.
like the only one of the few that actually knows what the fuck she's talking
Yeah.
about.
Like when, for example, like a celebrity who's known as an advocate for a specific cause, you listen. Like, I'm not saying like you listen because that celebrity like means something, but because that celebrity's committed to that specific cause. So if something is important to them, they're going all in for a reason. Like for example, like if I'm not saying Mark Ruffalo changes minds, but when you hear Mark Ruffalo talking about something, he's politically active and he cares. You know what I mean? But you get these celebrities that come out of the woodwork every 4 years only for a presidential campaign and just endorse as if it's their job. It almost feels like they're doing it more so for their image than to actually endorse a candidate. It's just like that. Then it doesn't matter.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
think
agree
it's
with
a
those
massive mistake.
I agree with those one-off celebrities like who you just mentioned, but in general, I don't care what Oprah Winfrey thinks. Eminem fell off 2 decades ago. Beyonce makes more money than I'll ever make. Also, Jay-Z is kind of shady. Like, I just don't care. Like, for an average American that's struggling to put food on my table, I'm not gonna stop in my tracks and wait and see what Beyonce has to say in her announcement, because quite frankly, I have way bigger problems than what her
I actually think
recommendation
the Beyonce endorsement might have hurt her because people were expecting Beyonce to perform at that at the endorsement, and then when she did it, like there was booing. People were booing. I remember.
is so bad.
Like what? Like people have to, like if you're just coming out of the they're like, listen again, like you have to be legit and you have to be like a celebrity that has a cause or causes that you really care for and you're an advocate throughout your entire life. And then when you endorse it means something because your fans know you're legit when it comes to that cause. But
like spending
there's
all
just
this
too many
money-
celebrities that aren't that. There's just too many celebrities that aren't that. Like, and then
I
that
think you
Oprah
contribute to
Winfrey
the
thing
vibe
where
space
they pay it.
part of it.
What
That
would
was
you
the
say?
problem. I said it was contributing to the vibes base. That's why, like, you know, when all the
Yeah.
hype was happening right before the election and everyone's like, holy shit, they got this. We're so close. Look at all the stadiums filled with people. Those stadiums were also filling up because they were paying the couple $1 million or whatever per celebrity to be there. And that also brings a lot of people to those events, right? It made you feel like there was this essence that they were just destined to win. Where I think, like, at the end of the day, it's true. It just comes down to, like we've been saying this whole time, for a lot of voters, regular people, economic reasons, economic policies. Or that kind of shit. Not was both Beyonce, Eminem, Taylor Swift all on the ticket in one way or another.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's you know, speaking of like money being spent, like you saw that, like I know it's that Oprah Winfrey's production company got like $1 million for her endorsement when she endorsed in order to put the production together for that endorsement event. It cost Kamala's campaign $1 million to Oprah Winfrey's people. Listen, I don't think she paid for the endorsement. I know people are saying that. Oprah Winfrey doesn't need $1 million.
Oh, she's a billionaire.
Yeah, but that also speaks to the fact that Oprah Winfrey chose to endorse Kamala, and she couldn't put up the fucking $1 million for the production herself.
Right,
Like,
that's a great point.
That's what makes it so fucking stupid. Like, I get that, yeah, your employees, the celebrities' employees and staffers, yeah, they need to get paid. But that comes from you as part of the cost of endorsing. Like, a campaign shouldn't be paying for that. I'm sorry. And if your addendum here is that, like, if you're like a celebrity and you're like, I need this person needs to come, and could you cover their costs, like to get there to the venue and back so that it doesn't cost them anything? That's different. But a fucking $1 million for the production, you could have done that pro bono, Oprah. Come on.
Yeah, I think that Celeste hit the nail on the head in the chat. She said that celeb culture is dying. And I think that's part of it. I think that Democrats haven't adapted. And yeah, I agree. Like, I don't give a shit about celebrities and what they say. I would prefer to extrajudicially jail every single one of them, like all of them, even the ones I like. Him too.
I mean,
I'm fine with him.
People
go in the gulag.
People, I do think people still care about what celebrities say and do. I mean, there's literally
not as much though. I would argue.
Not as
I
much.
agree,
You're
but
correct.
Yeah.
But there is a whole industry that's just, that makes tons of money that's just around celebrity fandom and what celebrities are doing and
like
gossiping and like that shit.
Well,
so people
TMZ
still care.
should be extrajudicially jailed too. Like, if I were a president, I would go after them with the FCC. Like Trump is going to go after CBS.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I'd be
Taylor
doing some
Swift
crazy
is
shit.
making millions, if not billions, of dollars selling out stadiums for full of young girls who would jump off a roof for her. Like,
yeah,
celebrity culture isn't. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that happily. I wish celebrity culture was dead. That'd be great. Let's get to that ASAP. But you're definitely right that it's not the same. It's definitely taken a hit in recent years. And
it's also changed, right?
What's that?
I said it's changed. Younger people are way more interested in, like, Kai Cenat than they are, or like one of the Jake Paul or Logan Paul, yeah, exactly. Than any of the, like, big name.
Right.
I love Kai Cenat, if I'm being honest. He's a Souls player.
Did you guys see his most recent stint?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
it was
fake himself?
crazy.
Is that what happened?
He had a magician come and do like a magic trick, and the magician hung himself. I'm sorry. This is not funny. This is not funny.
Wait,
well, it was like a prank, right? Nobody actually died. It was like
no one died. It was a
prank.
stunt, but it was like the man hung himself as the stunt.
That is morbid.
Yeah.
Fucked up. It's just fucked up to think that you have like 80,000 kids watching who are just all now like, all at once.
This magician was like, "Hey, pull this lever, Kai," and then he pulled the lever, and yeah, he got hung. But he was fine. It was like it was a prank, bro. That was wild. I don't know if Kai Cenat was in on it. But that's stupid. Yeah.
Wait, do you guys
influencer
remember when
culture is bad too.
It's so bad. But do you guys remember when he started a whole like mob in New York?
But
yes,
did he start?
I
I thought he got mobbed.
No. He started it because he said, I'm going to go to New York and I have free PlayStations and free gift cards for all of you. Come meet me in X Street at X intersection. So he tried to pull up and hand it out, but then it turned into a whole entire like mob, and then they started like mosh pitting and rioting. Yeah, like they delayed subways, and the DA tried to go after him like officially, but then they ended up dropping the cases from the last time I heard. Or dropping the case and the charges, but
Content is king.
Damn, that's
probably
crazy.
has more influence than Kamala.
Yeah, honestly, maybe he's our liberal Joe Rogan guys.
No, seriously.
Honest, you joke, but like the next nominee, if it's some kind of celebrity, like even not as online as like internet celebrities, but even someone like if The Rock ran for the Democratic ticket, like that would probably resonate with a lot of people just based on brand recognition.
Yeah, I hate to say it.
The Rock's not a Democrat. The Rock is not a Democrat, though.
Yeah, well then pick your.
Yeah, The Rock is Republican, from my understanding.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, some other celebrity.
Someone in the chat earlier when I was talking about how a lot of celebrities just endorse candidates for their own image, not so much because they actually believe in a candidate or an endorsement. And someone made a comment about how don't forget that in 2020, The Rock endorsed Joe Biden. And then in 2024, he refused to endorse another candidate and said he was never making an endorsement again because it was bad for his brand. It actually, The Rock's cost benefit analysis was that endorsing Biden in 2020, although at the time he felt it was the right thing to do, it was bad for him. So he's never going to do it again. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
So
when I'm talking about how celebrities just do this for their own image. Like,
I hate celebrities so much.
Like, yeah, if you're endorsing a candidate, of course it's going to hurt you in some way because you're telling a percentage of your fan base that you don't support the same candidate they do. It's not half because we don't know, it's
right, but you are alienating a lot of people.
Yeah, but you are definitely alienating at least one person who might be a fan of the guy that's facing the one you're endorsing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if that's not something you're willing to put on the line, then your endorsement means less than nothing to me. It's worthless. It's less than worthless. It's a negative endorsement.
Right.
Did you guys see Hassan's clip on CNN where they asked him about if he's the left's Joe Rogan and his response? I thought it was really good.
It was good.
Yeah.
You can play it if you haven't seen it. It's actually a legitimate answer. He got some good answers in a very short interview.
Oh yeah, if you have the link.
I have to find the clip.
Oh, by the way, we should probably mention that there was the ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel this week.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about that? I am very cautiously skepticistic. I mean, it's a good sign, and I don't want to be overly cynical, but
I would like it to last.
I would like to last.
It feels to me like Israel's way of getting out of something that wasn't going good for them. They
were overextending themselves. Netanyahu made a statement in which he said that like we need more weaponry, we need the U.S. to give us more support. Then that kind of I'd always said they're fighting too many theaters of war. Like it's so aggressive in so many different countries, and they're trying to do so much stuff that the international community is horrified by. Like at a certain point, it was going to.
This was their way of backing out without looking weak. And I don't think anyone should look at it as a broader look at things to come. It's not. They're gonna refocus their efforts.
Well, he said that too. Netanyahu said, "I'm gonna
now."
Yeah, didn't he say he's gonna focus on Iran, or did he say Gaza? He said he's going to refocus. I can't remember.
He said he was going to continue their operation in Gaza, and then I think the defense minister pointed towards the implication that they're going to start settlements and annexation, I guess, essentially, because they've already effectively said that the northern strip of Gaza is no longer, no one's allowed to go back. Which is just all so profoundly fucked that this is happening in front of our eyes. We just have to kind of sit and watch and be horrified with ourselves.
Yeah, we're powerless in this situation, and and to me, the only question is like, how far does it actually go in the West Bank? Because Trump was given $100 million by Miriam Adelson on the condition that he lets Israel annex West Bank. And Trump did things that other presidents said they were going to do, but didn't. Like, he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He gave them the Golan Heights. And so I actually think he would do that. I think he would let them annex all of the West Bank. He just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. I don't think he's interested in policy or an agenda. I think he just, was running for the president this time to kind of like skirt accountability and I guess rehabilitate the image of him losing in 2020. But I don't think he's like interested in policy at all. So, he has Mike Huckabee as the ambassador to Israel, who actually believes that all of the Middle East needs to be controlled by Israel. So that way the second coming of Jesus Christ can happen. So when you have all of these conditions in place and these people who are actually ideologically committed, like Mike Huckabee, I genuinely am like really, really worried. I'm expecting the worst case scenario, but really hope that my cynicism doesn't play out, because that would be unthinkable.
Yeah, I mean, Miriam Adelson gave him the money and was like, you're going to annex all of West Bank for this money. So it is very worrisome. At the same time, though, Kamala was also paid by AIPAC, and so was Joe Biden. So, I mean, I don't know. I think the worst is going to happen too. I think that, when you look at history in the past 2 decades, whenever Lebanon does go into war, it doesn't last for long durations of time. They usually come with a ceasefire agreement, or they end up stopping the war to some capacity. So based on like how it's gone in the past, I wasn't expecting this to get drawn out for too long. But at the end of the day, they've definitely destroyed a lot of southern Lebanon. Like, it's
right.
I wouldn't go to southern Lebanon. Yeah. But the more metropolitan areas like Beirut are probably okay to visit. So we'll see. The ceasefire, they were also, by the way, they were still bombing, they were carpet bombing Lebanon up until that ceasefire point hit.
Till the minute.
Till the minute. They did not stop.
After Biden announced it, yeah.
And then once that minute hit, then they stopped. It's like, you guys are so unbelievable.
It's fucking wild. Yeah, the juxtaposition of Biden happily announcing a ceasefire and then them dropping bombs is just so wild. Like, they are so rogue. I just at this point in time, it's so hard to even like process what's happening, because I don't know what to say. Like, we've all been following this for the past year, and we've seen so much death and destruction and so much apologia for it. So many people still defending Israel, and it's like, what else do you even say at this point? I can't even, like, the argument of, well, they're all going to look back and realize that they were on the wrong side of history. That doesn't even like appeal to me, because it's so obvious right now. Why do you have to wait 10 years or 20 years? I get that liberals like to do that sometimes when, public opinion shifts, but public opinion already isn't on their side. So it's fucking wild to me. Like, I genuinely don't know how to process, and I'm struggling with that.
Every day when you go out and you shop, you are participating in a system in which you can make decisions that can affect this in some way. And there was 2 big victories for people who do BDS. One of them was Sabra Hummus, one of the largest hummus producers, used to be half owned by an Israeli firm. They had to sell their half of the firm back to PepsiCo. So that PepsiCo no longer has Sabra Hummus associated with Israel, which is actually pretty monstrous. They used to have 60% of the market share in the US. It's dropped to, I think, like 37, but that's a massive one. Same thing with McDonald's. McDonald's had to buy back every single one of their Israeli franchises to stop them and control them from giving out the free Happy Meals to IDF soldiers. So it's not as if, like, I know a lot of people continuously say BDS doesn't work. It does. It's something like, keep participating in it, keep looking up at the list, and keep avoiding all of the pro-genocide products.
I just want to add on, this week as well, Puma dropped the Israeli soccer team as their sponsor. So, yeah, that happened too. Over 100 Starbucks in Malaysia also had to close down. So these things definitely work. It's just that they take time, and Americans don't have patience. But keep it up. It's working.
Hell,
yeah,
I mean,
and tech startups have plummeted in Israel. There's been a huge exodus of VC money is another thing that entire industry apparently is suffering because they don't want to start development there anymore. That's another plus. Like the same techniques that worked in apartheid South Africa can be applied here, and they're starting to, and they're actually having a tangible effect. So keep doing it. Keep like if you need to look up the list, check out the BDS website. Yeah, like someone said in the chat, it works, and that's why they're trying to outlaw it in 20 states in the US.
That's
even
true.
though my free speech. So
yeah, no, that's a great point. That's a really good optimistic bookmark to put in this chapter.
It's the only happy thing in the story is that like there is an effect
Right.
that is tangible with BDS. That's about it. But also, it's not hard to avoid McDonald's. There's probably so much better burgers around you or better coffee than Starbucks. Like it's not like your life is upside down. I swear to you. If you look whatever is in your area, you'll find better nuggies. There's better chicken
Especially
nuggies.
with Starbucks, honestly, any mom and pop shop is 90% going to be better than Starbucks. Like I guarantee it. Starbucks was never great. Like I was never the biggest fan of Starbucks. That's not to say that I didn't get Starbucks just because it was convenient. But I mean, yeah, there are alternatives.
Pricey. It was always so
expensive. Fucking pricey.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, $9 for a coffee. That makes sense.
I think for a lot of people, it was the convenience of both McDonald's and Starbucks
because they're everywhere.
Yeah, and also, I lived in Louisiana for a couple of months, and food deserts are a real thing. You would drive down 5 miles and you would not see a single grocery store, but there's like 5 fast foods and 2 Starbucks, and I'm thinking to myself,
and I bet a dollar store too, right? Because that dollar ramen is part of
Dollar
the food
General.
Okay.
Dollar General, not Dollar Tree. But
we have Dollar Tree on the West Coast. I don't know if it's elsewhere, but yeah, that's what I see the most is Dollar
West
Trees.
Coast we have, because I'm in that was only a couple months. West Coast we have Dollar Tree. Out there they have Dollar General. So
okay.
little
Okay.
different. Yeah. But
okay, I can bring in the Hassan clip. This is with Donny O'Sullivan interviewing Twitch streamer. His name is Hassan Picker. I've never heard of him. Small guy, but he made it to CNN.
Lesser known.
What is it
Yes.
that the Democrat Party has to do differently?
Well, I think that they need to change their policies.
It's a policy thing.
Yes, it's 100% a policy thing.
Because
Which
I'll
is the
say,
boring, which is the boring answer. Although it would be very self-serving for me to say, I'm the left's Joe Rogan, the Democratic Party should give me millions of dollars. That's not going to solve this problem. What will solve this problem is if the Democratic Party actually adopts real left-wing economic populist messaging instead of purposefully avoiding that stuff because they're terrified of upsetting their corporate donors. I think Trump speaks to mail insecurities better, and I think Trump speaks to the anger that people have, whereas the other side of the political spectrum does not speak to that anger at all.
There's been what is this?
That was well said. Yeah, that was great. I agree 100%. One thing I would add to what Hassan said is that they should, and I'm sure he thinks this as well, not just change the policies, like the rhetoric, but actually do the policies, like actually deliver. Because part of the problem is that, I just don't believe anything that they say. They'll make all these promises, and then when they get elected, they either give it up or they don't try to fight for it, right? Like, how many times have we heard the parliamentarian since Joe Biden was elected? Nobody knows what the parliamentarian is. Like, nobody has even heard of that. We don't have a parliamentary system. We have a presidential system. Why are we talking about some fucking advisor who's not elected? Don't ever bring up the parliamentarian. Shut the fuck up about the parliamentarian. I don't ever want to hear that as an excuse. Biden literally said, that's not for me to decide. That's for the parliamentarian to decide. And it's like, bro, you're the president. So they actually have to fight and deliver. Because that's part of the problem. I think that they don't understand. They've never come to terms with the fact that Obama has so many people jaded. Millennials, their first time voting was for Barack Obama. I was like wide-eyed, super optimistic.
Not
and then
me.
after those 8 years, I was fucking pissed. Well, I was more of a normie lib when I voted for Obama. It was my first time. I was a little bit, I was very
Oh, no, I'm
normie.
just saying Obama wasn't my first.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
Oh, Kerry?
John Kerry popped my voting.
Wow. Oh, that's true. That's true. I was not old enough to vote in that election. Man, that's a shitty first
John
vote.
Kerry was my first.
Oh, that's
my
a
God.
shitty first vote.
Yeah, do you understand? I think you could. I think a lot of me could be understood, by knowing that it all began with John Kerry for me.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Obama was my first, and I am a scorned lover, and I will never trust again because of the hope and change that was promised but not delivered. Instead, we
I
got
gotta tell you,
and
my
Obamacare.
well, Mike, I thought you were my age.
Yeah, but I was 17 in the 2004 election, so I was a year shy of being able to vote.
Wait, you're 87?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I am old.
I think you're like a year or two older than me, right?
I'm a year older, yeah.
Yeah. So close.
But yeah, I mean, I growing up during, I was in high school when 9/11 happened. It completely shaped not only my politics, but like who I am. And like to be a teenager whose entire high school and college life was spent under the Bush administration. I think I just remember like it was a scary time for a kid because you just and the internet was not where it was, so it wasn't like you had this like community online to go to. Like I wasn't streaming with my my buddies back in 2004. So like for Kerry to fucking lose the way he lost, it was bad. And very reminiscent of what we're going through now, by the way, where you had an unpopular Bush was popular coming into it, but you had a president who lost the popular vote in their first electoral win, turn it around and become the popular candidate comparatively and winning by the popular vote re-election. It's
Supreme Court.
But I will add that it was that last term of Bush that everyone turned on him and hated him at the end.
Yeah, the 2008 financial crisis will do that.
Yes. So maybe we're looking at a 2027 financial crisis, 2028 financial crisis that'll turn everybody against Trump. Well, I don't know.
All he's got to do is those tariffs, and you get your wish.
Yeah. Apparently, he had a conversation.
He's gonna speed run that. Apparently, he's gonna go in day one and become the most popular president of all time.
I mean, I would still, even though he says he's gonna do it, I would be surprised if he actually did it because that is so wild. That is a suicidal policy. goddamn, if he does it, I don't know what to say.
I think he's gonna do it and then he's gonna roll it back when he sees what a colossal fuck up it is. I think that's more likely.
Then Binder will be right because that'll be great because then it'll be a very big teaching moment for a lot of people.
I mean, for him to do it and fuck up though, like for him to realize there's a fuck up, that means there has to be pain felt by everybody else for him to visually see the fuck up. Like he's not gonna like roll it out and then no one's going to really notice. And he's going to be like, oh, well, my projections from my economists say this is a bad idea. No, he's going to roll. If he does it, he will roll out. And he will know that it was a bad idea when people start fucking feeling it. And the feeling on Trump completely changes. And that gets reported in the media and in polling. And he sees the numbers and the difference happen.
And then what
that
happens?
Means people will feel pain.
And there's like a Reichstag fire because that's the only really scary thing I'm worried about is that he's been cheating before. He's basically done an insurrection. He's lied about an election. He's a career criminal. He's a convicted criminal. He's a serial rapist. Like the guy is pretty much the most dangerous person to be in a position where there's an economic crash that he can blame on, say, a minority group, scapegoat them, and then say that they're responsible for the problems happening in the US and that we need to exterminate them. And then,
I mean, if you listen to Homan, his border czar, he's going on Fox News, and let me just say the Hitler particles, you can feel them. He's talking about how, if you're harboring an immigrant, we will knock down your door.
Oh, he's crazy.
We'll jail mayors who don't comply. I'll happily send them to jail. Like, he is a Nazi. The man sounds like a
crazy.
fucking Nazi, and he's going to take pleasure
He looks like a
in causing
meatball.
pain.
No, he
Yeah.
literally looks like a meatball.
Literally.
Have you guys seen his clip on 60 Minutes?
No.
Yeah, I saw that
Okay.
where he was like,
Let me find
was it where
That's right.
we can't play it because 60 Minutes will get copyright claimed,
Oh,
but I know
okay.
which one you're talking about, Ariana, where he was asked by the reporter, well, like, how do you do deportations without deporting or without separating families? And he waited for a second and he said, well, we just deport the families together. Like, he is a demon. He is a fucking demon.
No emotion, no nothing. Like,
Yeah.
we'll just deport them all together.
Just no soul. Yeah. Like, the man is a fucking crazy person. And he said he likes the protesters. Like, he spoke at some event, and he's like, oh, you haven't seen shit yet. Wait until 2025. This was before Trump was elected. And he's like, and I like the protesters, the anti-immigrant protest or the pro-immigrant protesters, because if they're not there, then I'm not doing enough. So, I mean, the man is evil, and his borders are now. But if he impresses Trump, then he could get bumped up to some other position.
But like, do you understand? Like, do you realize what I know you realize, but like, let's just stop for a second and just come to terms like with what you just said. Like, the evil guy that Trump wants to put in charge of the border is actually a part of the agency, the agency involved with the border now. Like, the Biden administration put this crazy guy there too, just not in the same upper echelon of power. But like, a person this evil should not be in a position like this. Yet the Biden administration put him there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, wasn't he the ICE director under Obama also?
You can't say that this guy is going to do horrible things, and these are the people that are going to carry it out. And then the people who you're saying are going to carry it out are currently a part of your government, and you put them there.
Yeah.
Just like how like the Biden administration never removed the head postmaster that Trump installed, DeJoy.
Yeah, Louis DeJoy,
like,
right?
Like, you can't. Like, you come off disingenuous, and also, just on a let's get out of campaign mode. You are the same or close to it. Like, if you think these people should have been in any position of power, like, you can't be like, yeah, this guy should have a little bit of power. No.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And Brendan Carr also, this is the next FCC chair that Trump appointed. He's probably going to get rid of net neutrality again, even though we just got it back. But like, what he's saying is he wants to go after people in the media who criticize Donald Trump. He's not saying that explicitly, but that's the subtext. He's saying, you know,
didn't Elon make a death threat today or yesterday where he like said that someone's going to be executed for treason under the administration when they come into power?
Did he say that?
Yeah,
I didn't see. I have Elon muted. I didn't see that.
Yeah, people were sharing it all over Blue Sky.
Elon also uses the R slur.
Does he?
Oh yeah, that's become big with conservatives again.
That's just they.
Okay, but as a person that is okay, I'm so sorry. I read reports that he has Asperger's. Is that untrue?
Yeah, that is true.
So, as a person with Asperger's, you're using the R word.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that's like perplexed by that?
I mean, there are people.
Honestly,
no, there are people who are trying to reclaim it, and that's why you see some people using it. But the problem is that they're not like they're using it in the same way that it was used before, which was degrading. It's not like a term of endearment. It's
weaponized.
Was it ever a term of endearment? Was it ever a term of endearment?
Well, yeah, but there's the argument to say like if you're gay, right, and if you use the F slur and you're using it to call gay people the F slur, yeah, which Mike does, right? There's an idea behind reappropriating the term, but that's a different than using it and then using it for the same weaponization to be basically demean both that group and someone else at the same time, right? There's two different versions of that.
Right, because like if I say the F slur, like I'm trying to take the venom out of it, so that way I'm desensitizing myself to it, and you know I'm saying it in a different way, like an endearing way, or a way that I want to, because I can use it as a gay person who's been called that before. But yeah, I guess it depends on how you try to reappropriate it, right? Like the way that I've
I don't
seen
think he's
that word be used
reappropriating
is
No,
just
he's just weaponizing it.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Which is just so wild to me. Like, I'm just like, come on. Like, that's not cool,
Mm-hmm.
But
So he
whatever.
did it towards Vindman, by the way, the death threat. I'm just trying to find Vindman's response.
Jesus.
Alexander S. Vindman. And so Elon said to him, Vindman is on the payroll of Ukrainian oligarchs and has committed treason against the United States, for which he will pay the appropriate penalty. And tweeted that out to him.
Wow. They're so bold. I'm not gonna lie, Brendan Carr, I don't know if he's gonna go after independent media people, but he knows who I am and doesn't like me, because back in 2017 in my heyday when I was talking about net neutrality, I called Brendan Carr a bigger shill than Ajit Pai. And at their little closed door telecom prom meeting, Ajit Pai played the clip of me saying that. And they were all laughing about it. I'm like, oh shit, the FCC is gonna drop the hammer on my ass. That's funny.
Is that real? I didn't know. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. It was like he was doing a stand-up bit. Ajit Pai was at telecom prom. And he was like, here's what they're saying about Brendan Carr. And then he played a clip of me, and I'm like, this guy's a bigger shill than Ajit Pai. And then he's like, wow, damn. And everybody was laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's I mean, I'm honored, but like, don't execute me. Don't bring the deep state after me. Let's but no, I don't know. It's gonna get crazy. I'm not worried, to be clear. And even if they do come after me, I mean, I'm not gonna stop talking. I'm not gonna be intimidated into silence. None of us should. Nobody should self-censor because they're afraid that the Trump FCC or the Trump administration is going to come after them. You can't kowtow to fascism because fascists are deeply stupid and incompetent. So never give them what they want. And that's why you see a lot of people talking about Timothy Snyder's don't obey in advance. Because that kind of establishes their power. A lot of it is just assumed power when it comes to tyrants, not power they actually take. From an actual institutional perspective. So if you just roll over and die and kowtow, you're just giving them what they want. So I am not going to shut the fuck up. I'm going to talk as much shit as I want to during the Trump administration, and I'm going to love it. Right now, I'm enjoying just watching some of the Trump supporters realize that they made a dumbass decision or they're worried about Trump's policies fucking them over. And I'm going to shit talk them, and I'm never going to shut the fuck up. So that's my monologue for tonight. I don't know if you all had anything else, but do you want to get to super chats?
Yeah, let's get it done.
Okay.
I just want to say one quick thing.
Sure.
Really quick. So there's a woman that's been going viral on TikTok this past week, and she does Dollar Tree recipes. And she just came out with a Dollar Tree recipe for Thanksgiving. Oh. She went into Dollar Tree with $20, and she was able to make a 3-course meal out of that Dollar Tree meal. And then so another person went into a different, a totally random Dollar Tree to buy something random, and he saw a couple families buying the ingredients and watching her TikToks and putting things in the cart. So I know times are tough. I'm just gonna link her TikTok really quick to you guys so you guys can share it in your chats in case. It's really interesting. I've been watching her forever, and it's just fascinating watching her change Dollar Tree ingredients to that. But in case any of you would like to have access to, in case you might want it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So just give me a couple of seconds, let me find it. But that's all I wanted to say.
And also Skepchick, youtube.com/@Skepchick has a new video on the cheapest and most healthy ways to do Thanksgiving that you just put out. And apparently, obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory that if you do a vegan Thanksgiving, it's the cheapest, vegetarian is the second cheapest. But the most expensive, and the surprise to me, was pescatarian, which made me very happy because I hate pescatarians. I think that they're just elitists who hold they're like the fucking Tesla drivers of food consumption, and they always just brag about how moral they are and how better they are than you. But if you're a pescatarian, you're eating the most expensive possible way you can consume food. If you're exclusively
isn't
seafood.
David a pescatarian?
That's mostly why I hate them.
Okay. Oh shit. FU2 in the chat. Got some pescatarians here.
Yeah, I know. My own chat is like, what the fuck?
Oh, we do have some pescatarians in the chat, Lance. Uh-oh. Walk it back.
I mean, I love pescatarians. Y'all are doing the good thing.
Now you got to double down. Fuck you, pescatarians. Okay, I just sent the link to the TikTok in all of our chats, so you all should see that wherever you are. Okay, so I'm gonna go through.
Why are you eating at Dollar Tree? Because the idea being, if you can't afford food for your family, this is just one way to buy. And I'm assuming, Ariana, it's probably how to make a healthier meal with Dollar Tree, right? Like, I'm guessing it's probably no, it's not. Oh
no, it's just simply like you walk into Dollar Tree, you have $20. This is what you buy to be able to make a 3-course meal. It is not focused on health whatsoever. So
it's just entertainment.
It's not going to be health focused at all. I'm just giving you guys a warning. But if you're walking into Dollar Tree with $20, you can't necessarily expect all organic everything. So it's just purely based off of you're struggling. You may have gotten laid off. You still want to have somewhat of like a Thanksgiving feel to your dinner with your family. That's what you do.
Okay, nice. Okay, I'll go through and read my super chats, and then we'll go one by one to each person. How does that sound? Okay, so Joanna Davis, thank you for the $20. Very generous. Happy holidays. Love all of you. Love you too. Appreciate that. Fritza, thank you for the $1.99. What are you guys most thankful for this season? I would say my dogs. I don't know. I'm not very thankful. I'm very mad and cynical right now. What are you all thankful for?
Well, I'm not gonna now not say Chico, because that would be a crime against humanity. So obviously my dog too. Also, GNX is a fucking banger of an album. I've been
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'm thankful for GNX, especially Luther, Gloria,
Luther's
and
great.
Whacked Out Mural. I'm sorry. That one is such a good opener.
And Mustard.
Yeah. Matt, what are you thankful for? Pizza wants to
What am I
know.
thankful for?
Yeah. The Lord.
Yeah. I'm thankful for getting through the year so far, hopefully. Maybe not. Maybe I should count my chickens for the hatch.
How about you, Ariana?
I put myself on mute because I don't want to be really distracting. Sometimes I fidget a lot.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I can go through my super chats. For all of you that sent everyone else super chats and told them to give me the money, they never gave me the money. So if you want to come into my chat today, you're more than welcome, because I was able to set it up by the grace of God. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go through my super chats.
I can probably find yours also pretty easily as well.
So no, I was joking. Oh, wait. You mean like on your screen?
Yeah, I could probably put them up on the screen actually.
Oh, cool. Because I have no clue how to do that.
Do you have Pinball Witch? Is that your first one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'll follow along. I haven't finished mine, but go ahead and
oh wait, no. You go ahead. You go ahead. No, you finish yours, and then I'll go.
Oh sure. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Because we can
ahead.
switch it up. We used to just have like one person go, and we're like, "Who's this?" And then the other person go, and "Who's this?" But then it takes forever.
Still let Ariana answer. The question to you was, I don't know if you had it on mute. What are you thankful for this year?
Yeah, what are you thankful for?
I'm
That's
so
what Pritza was
sorry.
curious about.
I'm so sorry. I was zoned out. What am I thankful for? You know what? I'm thankful.
You said you had it. You said you had it on mute, so we couldn't hear you, right?
Yeah, because I was fidgeting. I was doing...
Right, but if you didn't hear the question, that means that's not a function of you being on mute. That's the function of you just not paying attention to us.
It could be both. It could be both. Okay, jeez. I could be on mute and zoning out for like 2
I
seconds.
zone out so fucking much.
Second week on the show, which is already done. This is
at least I'm here. At least I'm here.
That's true. More than we can say for
Okay.
David.
What I am, yes, that man took Thanksgiving off, and he's in Canada. So you know what? Give me
Yeah,
some
I
more
didn't get
credit.
that.
Thank you very much.
I think he
Yeah,
said in the
Lance
chat
didn't
he
get
was
that
just
memo.
tired.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This is all jokes.
No, we're
what am I
not. Fuck you,
thankful
David.
for?
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I guess I'm thankful for being able to be like a content creator and be able to, you know, live comfortably as a content creator. It was a dream of mine. Definitely didn't start out with any kind of money, and I went into a lot of debt trying to do this. So really happy I was able to pull myself out of that debt and be happy and be able to pay my bills as a content creator. So I think that's what I'm most thankful of this year.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, the next one
That's
is
a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Respect. I like that
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Eric Archipong, $20. So generous. Mustard. Yeah. Speaking of GNX.
Mustard.
Such a honestly, like when that when the album dropped and I was listening to it, I'm like, this is like food for my soul right now. We needed this. Let me see. Thank you so much, Bay Photo, for being a member for 6 months. My next one is from Hawk. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate that. Thoughts on Scott Jennings, CNN? Hate his guts. Hope he dies. He's made every post-election discussion worse than ever. Also, Mike, $5 to call yourself a dickhead. Mike is a dickhead. For those who don't know, that's an I did a video about Matt Gaetz being on Cameo, and there was a liberal account, Mueller She Wrote, who said, "Hey, everybody, go give him money to make him say silly things," and they also said,
Oh
they
yeah, I
should
saw
have
that.
like
It was a really good idea. I gave Matt Gaetz like $800 just to.
Yeah, so the point in my video about that was like, you're not owning him by making him say stupid things. Like, if you can get him to Yas Queen Nancy Pelosi or call himself a dickhead, you're giving him $500 to do that. So like, no. And I would give myself, I would call myself a dickhead for $500, and I was like, I do it for like $10. Like, I mean, so
Listen,
that's what that's in reference to.
If anyone out there wants to own me by giving me lots of money, please own me hard. Just destroy me, wreck me with as much money as you'd like.
Oh, and I should probably point out, because my sense of humor is very dark, when I said I hate Scott Jennings, I hope he dies. I was kidding. So, Tara, thank you for the $10. Appreciate you, Tara. So I actually need to buy a car to drive better in the snow, and the salesperson and I talked about the tariffs, and he was worried since RAV4s are assembled right over the border. Yeah, a lot of cars are assembled over the border. That's the thing, Tara. If you can get it done before Trump takes office, I'd say definitely do that. There might already be like, maybe not with cars. I was gonna say like, these companies might cut back in certain ways to, in anticipation of the tariffs, so they can buy supplies in advance. But I think you'll be okay if you buy one before the year is over, before Trump takes office. At least I hope so. Because we don't like, he might not do tariffs, but if he does, then you're gonna really be happy that you bought one now for sure. So good luck with that, because I know that car hunting is a nightmare. Thank you so much to Bay Photo for the $10. Appreciate that. I hate to say it, but I think some Americans will only learn if they suffer the consequences from Trump's tariffs. I kind of agree, Bay Photo. I just wish we didn't have to suffer collectively. Yeah, I really wish that was the case too. Unknown, thank you for the 10 pounds. Appreciate you. Cis guys, download period tracking apps and go crazy on them to protect women and AFAB people that don't uninstall them. That's a good idea. Also, thank you, Mike, for checking and responding to your emails. You are very much welcome. That's a really good idea, actually.
What's a good idea?
Download the period tracking apps if you're a cis guy. So that way it'll be more difficult for them to track women and AFAB people. Because we know that that's what they want to do. So I like that idea. It's kind of like the
Infiltrate the period app.
Perfect. Yeah. I'll track, like, I don't know, my gameplay hours or something. I don't know how the apps work. I haven't had.
Yeah, I don't know how they're tracking it though, like that. I don't know if that would be the case. Like, I don't know if you would actually be. I'm not knocking the idea. I don't know if it's a good idea.
I don't necessarily know that they're like tracking the apps themselves, but it could potentially be used in court against you if you have a miscarriage and you've been using these apps to track your period, because like Facebook messages, for example, they've been subpoenaed, and Facebook, they hand this shit over willingly. So just to protect yourself, I've seen a lot of people recommend to just not have these apps because it could be used against you. I mean, it's more of a precaution than anything, right?
Yeah, but also there's a lot of like personal health data on it, and especially repro and like, you know, red states. There's a lot of attorneys that have said, just be safe, delete it, don't have it on your phone. You don't want them to know that much about your reproductive system, but it's precaution. Like, it's precaution. It might not even do anything in the long run.
Right. Yeah. It's one of those situations where it's like better safe than sorry. If there's some other way to track it, or you can track it through a different app that's not a period tracker app, maybe try that. But yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those things where take all the precautions, honestly. So Jacqueline, thank you so much for the $6.99. Appreciate that. Canada's Thanksgiving is slowly giving way to a week of celebration in the First Nations, and reconciliation. USA should follow. It was a genocide. That would be wonderful. Yeah, baby steps, right? I think that the first sign that I saw that was really positive was the way that people just started calling Columbus Day Indigenous Peoples Day. I really like that. So I think that kind of slowly but surely moving it in that direction, where we recognize it in that way, is actually a great idea. And it's something that the left can do. It's just kind of hard. I don't know where you start, but I mean, you start somewhere. And I like that idea. So yeah.
Christopher Columbus was a human trafficking pedophile, and fuck him.
Yeah. If you ever, if you just learned about Christopher Columbus through school, like public education, odds are you don't have the full understanding. Read Howard Zinn's People's History, and he goes through the Native American genocide, and it is shocking. Like the details that he goes over, it is barbaric and brutal, and you will never be the same again. It will radicalize you to your core.
If you don't have time, you can read the Oatmeal's comic on Christopher Columbus. It's my favorite introduction to him. I'll put it in all the chats.
10 lawn gnomes. Thank you for the $10. Appreciate that. There's a YouGov article that shows how much the median voter misrepresents small groups. So apparently the U.S. has 30% of the population in each of NYC, California, and Texas. I saw that. Yeah, they overestimate like how much people are bisexual or trans, and how many of them live in these coastal elite areas. That was actually really fascinating. I'll pull up that comic really quick. I want to see it. I don't think I've seen this yet. Oh, this is kind of long, actually. Okay.
Oh, I wouldn't read it on stream. I just mean like it's a lot faster than the People's History of the
Okay.
United States. Everyone should also read because it's an awesome book. I agree with your recommendation.
I was like, oh, this is like 4 panels. I'll put it up real quick. Let me see here. So Christopher Annis is my next one. I think I'm almost done here, folks. Give me 1 second. I think they're out of order. Christopher Annis. There you are. Thank you for the $10, Christopher. Really appreciate that. Mike, please share the tracks that you use at the end of your videos. I'm going to come play stupid games. So if you go to my second channel, it's just called Mike Figueredo. I have a video that's like 45 minutes long where I put every single track into one video, and there's timestamps. You could skip ahead and play which ones you want. And there's even the older, like the first Leftist Mafia theme in there as well. So I did do that. Enjoy. Chris Corcoran, thank you for the $5. Between Kamala and the couch, I'd take Kamala because the couch's VP would have been JD Vance. Yeah. Good point. Celeste, thank you for the $2. Celeb culture is dying. People are tired of them. I agree with you. Yeah. And good riddance. Bay Photo, thank you for the $4.99. Appreciate that. Hassan said that interview with Dhoni was 1.5 hours. We only got small clips. Oh, okay. Wow. Interesting.
That's what trad media usually does. They film a bunch and then they cut to the little pieces that they want to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Kowalski, thank you for the $9.99. Appreciate that. I enjoy Starbucks coffee. You coastal elite. Hey, I'm sorry. This is why the left lost the Midwest. Maybe we just want to feel fancy for one fleeting moment. I'll die on this hill with my iced caramel macchiato. I was not expecting Kowalski to go all in for Starbucks. Okay, Kowalski. Defying stereotypes. I love it. Thank you to this user, for the $6.99. Oh dang, of course, someone who identifies with ASP would use the R slur considering the history of ASP v autistic. Yeah, referring to Elon Musk. Yeah, look, we all know that's not the only slur that Elon Musk uses. Autistic Goblin, thank you for the $5. Nice to see you. To be clear, we do not claim Elon. Also, Hans Asperger was a Nazi, so we are just high masking autistics now. Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Did not know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to Sensi Vicano for the $4.99. Thankful for the animals. Go vegan peeps. Never too late. Appreciate you. Well, I'm like 50% of the way to vegetarianism. I don't eat as much meat. I eat mostly like vegetarian chicken products. I almost never eat beef. Like, actually, yeah, I rarely eat beef. So I will get there one day for sure. And thank you for the 99 cents. No message here. And then my final one here is from Tenbosin. Appreciate you. Thank you for the $5. Oh, Chico. For clarification from last week, I meant the 8th grader middle school syndrome part, not the anime. Love the... Oh, okay. Okay, I remember this. Thank you for clarifying, Tembosin. Okay, Lance, did you want to go next?
Sure, I only have three. I'll be really fast. Cosmere Dragon, thank you so much for the $20. Imagine if Kamala in her campaign referenced her 2019 debate where she called out Biden and continued with that message, talking about how Biden snubbed her as a token VP. Would never happen, but could have been effective. And I'd say I agree with you. And honestly, distancing yourself from him in any way, shape, or form would have been more effective. But it sounds like she wasn't allowed to do that. So.
Well, I don't know if it was it allowed. It doesn't. I don't think that says it properly. I don't think she wanted to do that.
Oh, but do you think because she didn't want to distance herself because she genuinely respects Biden's policies, positions, and campaign, or because she thought she'd be unelectable if she did it?
I think that's part of it. Honestly, I think that's part of it. I didn't think that, but then. You hear her campaign people say that. Maybe she'll come out and say that's bullshit. I doubt that, but it does seem like she didn't want to go against him out of respect, on top of everything else too. I don't.
You could be right. She certainly did like the Cheneys. That was pretty apparent. Baby Photo, thank you for the $4.99. Have a turkey emoji, our Canadian friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Looney Tunes 9000, thank you for the salt shaker. Also very kind of you. And a big thank you to Bowie Bourdain for the 15 gifted subs on Twitch. That's so generous of you. And Redolent Thought, thank you for the Prime as well. Very kind. Thank you. Go nuts, Matt or Ariana?
Why doesn't Ariana go next?
Wait, Matt, do you want to go next?
No, because I got a lot, so I should probably go last.
Okay. Mike said he could put the super chats on the screen, but if not, that's totally okay. Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to call you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just start.
You don't have to put them on the page.
Michael grab it.
No, I can put them on the page. I know it was Pinball, which was the first one.
Yes. Wasn't able to watch the last live stream. Welcome to the show, Ariana. Don't let them force you into a binary generation. Zillennials. Solidarity with Zillennials, period. Pinball, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the $5 as well. That's a half of a Chipotle bowl, so I appreciate it. I seem to misplace donating to Binder. Can you swiftly give it to him, please? Yes, I will, of course, give it to him. Thank you so much for the 11.99 pounds, Zate-wise. I appreciate it. Calm Like a Bomb said, welcome to a Mafia. You're a great addition to the team. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy to be here. Act Blue acting like a fool, sending like 3 texts during the count. That's Tumbosan. Please let me know if I pronounced your name wrong. Yeah, honestly, the Act Blue texts were way out of line. And apparently
Yeah.
she's been bombarding people now too to send them more money. So yeah, they clearly don't know their limit. Same person, Tumbusan, image the Taylor Swift, aka Tay Tay on the streets check. You know what's crazy? My best friend told me that she thought that if Taylor Swift gave the endorsement, that Kamala was going to win the election. And that's when I knew we were screwed. Because I was just like, if that is what you think is going to get us there, I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, Smokey Rose, 3.
I mean, the problem, she didn't, her endorsement was an Instagram post, though. She didn't do a real endorsement. Can't count it.
You mean a paid
Did
one?
get a lot of likes though.
Yeah, if she got people to
didn't
register to
show
vote,
up,
but
she
it's
didn't do
never,
nothing.
it's never going to be determinative for sure. It helps, but
Yeah, I agree. Smokey Rose, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. You've been actively chatting. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Prairie Fire, times aren't tough enough now. Just sell some corn, maybe a calf or 2, and just go to the store. Harvest is over. It is time of abundance. You all clearly aren't hearing the messages from the wind. That was a beautiful monologue. Thank you so much. I really needed that. Sometimes you just need different perspective, Blue X, $2. Thank you so much. Welcome. I'm so glad it's not a frat party now. Damn, I'm getting roasted out here. Thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate it. Diggy Sows, is this Worcester or Worcester? Worcester.
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Has free public
Work Easter.
Work Easter. Has free public transportation and free higher education at 2 to 3 of our 10 colleges and universities. All of our home states can and should. I agree. I think our country could 100% do this and more, but they decide to fund other things that don't give us as much return. And the last one, NC Sketchy. Welcome to Leftist. Welcome to Mafia. Here is your introductory bribe. Thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Matt.
Before starts, let me just quickly say, Pinball Witch, thank you for the $5 that just came in. Everyone remember to celebrate the holiday on the 29th. Time to celebrate the first anniversary of Kissinger being gone. And
is that already a thing?
Damn.
It's already been a year since Kissinger Day.
Wow. Rest in puss, Henry.
It doesn't feel like it was. It does feel like it was long ago, but it also doesn't. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the super chats for me now. Here we go. Let's do this. Dr. E with a super chat. How do we apply for asylum in Mexico? You just go. I think you need to just go. They're not like gonna stop Americans at the border. Let's go to
what I will say though, if you want to go somewhere, you should go to Panama. It's very easy for Americans to get residency. You just need a 4-year degree, and Panama's gorgeous. Like, you would definitely want to live there. So if anyone wants to escape, go to Panama.
See, I was eyeing Costa Rica because Panama is great, but they don't have gay marriage. I don't think they do. Costa Rica does.
You're already married, or they won't recognize
you. Would they recognize it?
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and Costa Rica's. I like Costa Rica. There's a lot of great options, though. Honestly.
Oh, you're right.
All right, Bay Photo with a super chat. Going forward, those that want to avoid super chat tariffs on David and Lance can funnel their super chat donations via Matt Binder. You didn't pull that one up.
I'm sorry. There's a couple of Bay Photo ones. I was trying to find the right one. Here we go. This is funny.
All right, I agree. Tunbosin with a super chat. F these mythical moderates. Absolutely. Abby with a super chat. Disappeared for over a year while I dealt with life and fixed my mental health. Happy to be back. Take my monies. Hair looks great, Binder. Oh, thank you, Abby. And I'm so glad you're doing well. Happy to see you back. And I hope everything continues going well.
Yeah.
And hope to
Fixing
see you
your
around in
mental
the chat.
health. I mean, hell yeah. That's something to celebrate. That's
Yeah.
an amazing feat. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Narrator with a super chat. Dem said the economy is going great, which is like your landlord telling you the heating works. You know it's not, and they won't do anything to fix it.
Damn, that's a great analogy.
Yeah. I mean, you could swap any issue you have with your landlord, really. You don't got to just stick with the heating. Anytime you need anything done. Kowalski with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Kowalski. What is everyone thankful for this Thanksgiving? I think we did that already. I'm thankful for my family, friends, cattle, and the ability to do 190-pound weighted sit-ups for 4 sets of 8 reps. My core is as solid as Matt's hairline. Oh, I appreciate that.
Wow.
I love Kowalski.
Also, I love Kowalski just getting in a little bragging rights right there, just showing off.
But
I appreciate the kind words about my hairline. Honestly, it's a point of pride for me as well, because and
that is impressive, Kowalski.
I've been running into I recently ran into some people I knew back in the day, and their hairline's not doing as well.
Oh man. That's when you
So
just
it made
have to
me
go
realize
to
just
Turkey.
how lucky I am. Yeah, I just had a moment of clarity. You know, you know, life can be hard, but at least I still got my hair. Tunbo, I honestly, you want to talk about KYS? KYS. That's me when I start going bald.
No, by then the toupees will be so advanced. You can get a really good
no, I
toupee.
can't. I'm not wearing a toupee. Those look horrible. Those look horrible.
I will say
You're gonna get a transplant.
Transplants usually look bad. I gotta say, the one good thing I've ever seen, the one good thing I've ever seen about Elon Musk is the fucking hair transplant he got is fantastic. Do you see the old pictures of him and how bad his hair was? His balding, his hair, he looked horrible. And his hair looks like completely normal now. You can't
But
even
would you rather have his hair with that face or no hair and a different face?
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
For the hair, face, and body, we gotta put the body in.
The body just that adds to it. Where you're kind of a Tesla or a Cybertruck body type.
Oh man, we're allowed to bully him, okay? He's
absolutely.
So we're allowed to bully.
Yeah.
This isn't a super chat, but Figure Drawing says, "Oh my god, don't be superficial. Bald is awesome." Listen, being bald works for some people, no doubt about it. I'm not knocking anyone who's bald. I'm saying for me, I can tell you, bald will not work.
You don't know that though. You haven't tried it yet.
Oh, I trust me.
I feel like you would probably get used to it over time because we're all gonna get there someday.
Now, see, this is it's hard to have this conversation with my hair looking like it is right now. Like normally, my usual the Matt Binder style, the Bart Simpson version of me is I got my big crazy hair, and without that, I feel like I'm gonna lose a part of me. I'm gonna lose.
How is your dad's hair, Matt? Does your dad have?
He by this age he's already going bald. So I'm lucky.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing better than him.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
When he was young, he had an afro. He had a full blown. He had what they call a Jufro. He had a huge afro. Yeah, but he don't got nothing now. He's got the hair around that, but.
Yeah, my dad had like a bald spot, but he had a full head of hair into his 70s. I mean, it thinned, of course, but and my big brothers have one of them has pretty good hair. So I'm like, all right, well, it could be worse for me, but who knows? Because everybody is completely different. So I don't know. I just feel like when it gets super far back, I'm gonna shave it and I'm gonna rock it.
No, I'm not. I mean, I feel like I can't tell. My hairline might have shifted a little bit, but otherwise, for 30
I
8
mean,
years
that's a
old.
good
It's looking pretty
hairline.
good. It's
Yeah,
looking
you're
pretty
splitting
good,
hairs. No pun
Yeah,
intended.
it's looking pretty good.
That's a good hairline. Yeah. Okay, enough of our male insecurities.
Listen,
What's
I
the
listen.
next
I
one?
got, I got no problem. I got no problem with gender. What is it?
Gender affirming care.
Gender affirming care, right? At all for anyone, including cis men like myself.
Yeah, hell yeah. Look, they make Just for Men and Rogaine for a reason. That's gender
Listen,
affirming care.
I'm not even like one of those guys who's like manly, masculine. I wear tight pants. I don't care about muscles or anything like that. In fact, I think guys who have like the RFK Jr. physique look sick, actually. Like they look not well. Like he doesn't
Well, he's
look
not
good.
the best example because he just
No,
looks
but like
like
conservatives
he's dying.
use him as a great example of someone who's in fantastic health. No, like if you watch him move, he's not flexible. He can barely move. Like those guys with like big muscles who can't move, like they're not in good health. I'm sorry. Like I don't watch when like bodybuilders are not in good health. Like pro wrestlers actually have a pretty good overall health because they have a fit body, but they could fucking do crazy acrobatic stuff. That's good health. Not talking like Hulk Hogan wrestler. I'm talking like modern day wrestlers who aren't like fucking looking like bodybuilders.
I do kind of look like Carrie Lake with sunglasses on. But she is my mom, so I'm going to look like my mom. Okay. What's your next one, Matt?
Someone said, Valinova on Twitch says, Matt coming out against Hassan. No, but Hassan's not fucking like bodybuilder big. He's just natural big. You don't see bodybuilders how they look?
If he was natural,
my whole
then...
entire fucking feed was Hassan.
That underwear photo, yeah, it's like 100. I saw 1,000
I was
versions
like,
of it.
listen, I understand, but like it's getting a little excessive. Not in a hatery way, but more in a I'm trying to figure out what the news is. You guys are
it's very distracting.
Stop horny posting, Twitter.
Like there's like the steroid look where you're like so fucking muscular that it's clearly you're not healthy. And then there's just like a big beefy dude look where like that's not steroid. That's actually working out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to listen, as a big pro wrestling fan, I spend a lot of time thinking about men's physiques, okay?
Matt prefers bears and not jocks, okay?
No, it's true. It's true though. It's true.
And
well, jocks too depend. Like soccer fit is also not so fucking muscular and shit, and you would consider soccer players to be jocks.
Well, yeah, they're also massive sex symbols too.
Yeah, but they're not like fucking like brolic. All right,
this
narrator
is the
with
most bro-y conversation I've been in a very long time.
I know.
Are we done? Should we rate out?
No, Bender still has
I got a lot more. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm just thinking about the male physique right now.
I'm about to use my F slur pass.
Ariana, you're do you agree with as the one female, the one woman on this the panel here?
Oh, poor Ariana.
You know what I'm talking about, right? They're like super muscular guys who like it's clear they're not like unless you're into that. I don't know. I'm not gonna kink shame you if you're.
Are you talking about dad bods?
I mean,
No,
I think you're right. I think RFK looks unhealthy. He looks like he injects oil into his muscles, which is actually a thing.
Yeah, that's a great point.
But I think women prefer. Not saying this is me because Hassan and I follow each other on TikTok, so I don't want him to think like anything weird. I think women prefer the Hassan type of body rather than RFK. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah,
I'm ready for it.
That's where I'm gonna end
But
my.
I appreciate the All right, let's do this.
Well, real quick. Or no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Narrator with a $20 super chat. The same way Dems are discussing being quieter than their muted toleration of trans folk, refused Palestinian speakers, and banned the name of an innocent black man about to be murdered, all for the sake of fundraising next term. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Absolutely. I mean, they're not dealing with any of this still. Tunbosin with a $10 super chat. Oh, and narrator, by the way, $20. Thank you so much. And Tunbosin, thank you for the $10. At first, didn't know what to do with all the money. We tried burying it, shredding it, and burning it. But in the end, we just decided to give it all away. Harris 2024. To be fair, Obama was also in debt. Yeah, well, Obama won. It's okay to be in debt if you pull it off. Like, you also go into debt when you make a big purchase, like you buy a house or something, but you have the house. Harris went into debt and was foreclosed on. Like, she lost the house. Like, no, but they didn't give it away. Even it wasn't even give it away. Yeah, that they didn't give it away. They gave it specifically to very specific contractors and organizations and groups that make massive amounts of money consulting for Dems. Looney Tunes 9000. You're listening to 104.1 The Binder, home to music with a blue sky user count, doomed scam economy, and leftist mafia. Oh, right. Looney Tunes is making a reference to, I've been running for the past couple of days a blue sky user count live stream on my channel. It's still there if you go take a look. It is counting it's a 24/7 live stream tracking how many people are joining Blue Sky.
On what channel?
On this channel, youtube.com/MattBinder.
Oh, I haven't seen that in my feed.
No, it's there. Go to my channel. I set up
You're tracking your Blue Sky follower count, or just the members on
the
Blue
overall signups to Blue Sky.
Okay, I see.
And there's lo-fi beats, chill lo-fi beats playing in the background.
Oh, that's a vibe. Nice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
And I'm going to keep it running for as long as I can. And a little bonus for everybody, because for the past 5 years, when Christmas came around, I would throw up the old Joe Pesci Home Alone Yule log. You know that scene where Joe Pesci's his hat goes on fire, Kevin McAllister with the blowtorch. I would have that looped with Christmas music, and I would set that stream up for like a few days. And people loved it. I did it for 5 years, but last year I didn't do it because I was kind of down in the dumps from everything going on. But this year, because everything's so much better now, I'm feeling so great. But this year I've decided to make it up to everyone, and I'm going to start that stream tomorrow, and it's going to run for the entire month.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go to Tunbosin with another super chat, and here comes good old Chucky with his bill. What Chuck Schumer bill? What were you referencing again? Did we bring it up before? I think, right?
I don't know.
All right. Bryce Daniel with their very first super chat. Dirty conservative here. Ooh.
Boo.
How do you progressive hacks not understand why they use this celebrity? She was terrible in interviews, even favorable ones. So they used celebrities as her hype man to manufacture it.
I mean, we understand that. We're just saying it's not a good strategy.
Yeah,
Have you not been around? We've been criticizing her for not doing interviews and criticized her interviews. I think that maybe you're mistaking us for liberals. We're not liberals, sweetie. We're leftists.
No, we criticize the whole shebang. My guy used word there.
Yeah, we were just talking about. I don't know, Bryce. I don't know if you're still here, Bryce Daniel. First of all, I appreciate the very first super chat. It's very nice of you. $10 too is a decent size first one too, so I appreciate it. But I don't know what we're not getting. We get that completely. I don't think.
I feel like that's the most obvious thing ever. And you're
I
like,
actually don't think. I actually don't think you're seeing it quite correctly, because that's so like that's so basic, that thought process of
yeah,
they used her to cover that she's bad in interviews. No, that's not why they use celebrities mainly. They use celebrities to bring in people so they don't have to actually advocate for any specific policy. Like they use celebrities to basically like pepper over their lack of any sort of ideological standing or policy. And guess what? You guys do that a lot too. It's just that your celebrities are like fucking Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan
Hercules.
and
I don't even remember his name.
Kevin Sorbo,
Cameron. The shitty celebrities. I mean, they're all shitty, but like
look what they're all talking about. None of them are talking about policies. They're talking about how manly Trump is, or how badass he is. None of that is substantial. None of that matters. Who cares? Tony Rizzo with a membership super chat, member for 13 months. Thank you, Tony. Make Texas Mexico again, right? Larry R with a $10 super chat. You guys see that Ethan Klein had loaner box on? They both agreed that there's no famine and Palestinians should be better victims. It's especially gross considering they have 2 Lebanese employees. I did not see that. I don't pay very much attention to Ethan Klein or loaner box. I think I heard a loaner box a while ago. He was just like a liberal streamer as far as I knew. I mean, you know, history will prove them wrong because it's happening right before our very eyes. Like you have to be like going out of your way to close your eyes and plug in your ears to say shit like that. I'm sorry.
And Ethan Klein called it a genocide. Like I think on October 12th, I was watching Bad Hasbara today with Rogan. Shout out to them. And he was going over like Ethan's first reaction, and he was like crying on stream and talking about how this is a genocide and how the Israeli government is evil. And now he's pushing Zionist talking points. So Ethan is crashing out hard.
What do you think happened there? That's usually not the case. Most people have the opposite sort of experience.
Yeah, I genuinely think it stems from that. Because
but that fallout happened pretty immediately. Why is it all of a sudden now that he's like
no, his crash out has been progressive though. Like it started off kind of like, you know, it started off fully like this is a genocide. And then the fallout with Hassan happened, and he started crying on Hassan's stream, and then Hassan's chat was making fun of him. So it just kind of devolved from, and then it started devolving from there, where it was like, oh, and then now it's like fully like Zionist talking points. It was like a progressive, kind of like a slow burn, if you will.
And in like at the beginning of the year, or after Aaron Bushnell had died, before he had completely crashed out and gone full liberal Zionist, he like that was when I stopped watching. Was after the Aaron Bushnell episode, because he said some things with the Hassan stream that really bothered me, but it genuinely seemed like he was trying to be a good person and trying to be empathetic. But after the Aaron Bushnell situation, I'm like, oh, fuck you. I don't want to listen to you anymore. I can't do it. Because he made fun of Aaron Bushnell and was like shitting on him and stuff. And he couldn't understand why his audience was getting mad at him. And now he's just like, he's trying to get Hassan banned, the only major Twitch streamer who actually talks about Palestinian genocide. He got Rogan and the Arabs podcast crew banned. He's a sick fuck. He's racist. He's Islamophobic. His wife is, she praised Yoav Galant, said he's a really nice guy, and then, oh, I didn't know this, I'm stupid. He played Twitcher terrorist. He's an Islamophobe. He's a racist. So I used to really respect him. He's a terrible person. Fuck him. I hope more of his audience tunes out. I'm a Fallen fan myself. I have Teddy Fresh merch now that I am just not gonna rock, I guess. That shit was kind of expensive. I bought 2 hoodies. But no, fuck him. He's losing his audience because he cultivated
Damn,
a
you were a
left-wing
fan.
audience.
You were a real fan.
I was a
buying their
legit
shit.
fan. Yeah, I bought their shit. I bought their merch. I bought their beanies. I listened to almost every episode. I tuned in like they have 3 or 4 podcasts a week. I would listen to at least 2 a week usually. So I was a huge fan. Now I can't stand him. I hate his guts.
Not to mention that Loner Box is also in Destiny's orbit, and Destiny has been the one that's been spearheading the campaign to get Hassan kicked off of Twitch and demonetized and all that stuff. So it's kind of like it all goes
They
hand in
traveled
hand.
to Israel together, the two of them, Lonerbox and Destiny, and got a tour by Elon Levy, which is
Stop! Are you serious?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. There's footage, there's pictures, there's everything. It's like in the middle of everything that's going on right now to do something like that just seems like wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Wait, that might be my next YouTube video.
Well, and one thing that pissed me off is that when Ethan did his big rant about Hassan, that whole time he didn't let one of his employees, who's Lebanese, talk when her family literally had to be like evacuated because Israel was bombing them. Didn't give her a chance to speak. It was just all his personal grievances with Hassan. Hassan's mean to me. Hassan is doing terrorist propaganda. Not to mention, you know, the fact that his wife was in the IDF and went on a raid because she chose to do that. And by his standards, engaged in terrorism herself. It's just, honestly, I'm so sick. Like, he's just a racist person, and that's what it comes down to. And I think he tried to put up this mask for a while, and tried to learn, but the pettiness with Hassan has kind of led to this crash out to where he's like, all right, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction since I already lost, you know, half my fan base. I mean, his views are like cut in half if you compare it to now and then back before, because I think a lot of people just slowly but surely tuned out because he got a lot of left-wing followers because he was doing Leftovers, and I was listening before Leftovers, but yeah, he's crashing out badly. And watch Ariana's video about it. It's very good.
Yeah, I did make a whole video about his slow burn crash out if you guys want to see.
Yeah, it's good shit. And good meaning it's aggravating, but like her commentary is great. It makes you feel better. It's cathartic.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Okay, so let me see. Is Tokyo Hans?
Oh wait, I
next
got
one,
more.
Matt?
Hold on.
Tokyo Hans.
Tokyo
right?
Hans with a super chat. I'm thankful for the ability to give super chats. I appreciate it, Tokyo Hans, and I'm thankful that you're doing good too. Not because you're giving me super chats, but because you have the ability to give super chats. Hansi with the super chat. If the celeb shit doesn't make a difference, then why does the celeb president exist? And why are content creators constantly partaking in fake infighting? Yeah, I mean, it definitely does count for something. Just not enough to change around the shitty campaign. Like the celebrities will have some sort of effect, but they can't be expected to be the thing that wins for a candidate. Marla Surratt with a super chat. Matt, so disappointed. You ought to know how to pronounce Worcester, since that is where Sam and I are from. It's like Worcestershire sauce. Wait, when did I say Worcester wrong? Did you say something wrong?
I think when Ariana had a super chat, she didn't know how to say it, and I didn't know how to say it either. So I said "work Esther."
Oh, I missed that.
Like,
I tuned you guys out for a minute.
we all fade away sometimes. It's cool.
Yeah, it's Worcester, my friend. It's Worcester.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's Worcester. No, I'm being serious.
No. Are you serious?
It's Worcester, yes.
Well, my chat is saying it's Worcester, so
nobody knows. So if all of us are wrong, then nobody's
we're
right.
all
Also,
right.
Yeah.
American education for you right there.
Yep. Yeah. All right, what you got next, Matt?
Hold on, people are telling me I'm wrong.
Are they really?
No, it's Worcester.
I hope you're wrong, because that is a ridiculous
Worcester
pronunciation
doesn't
for that
sound
spelling.
good.
Oh,
It's
I got my New York accent going on here. I just listened to a pronunciation thing.
It's a Worcester here.
Worcester.
That doesn't sound or look.
But I say
right.
because I'm from Worcester.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it. This is okay. Oh, I can't even spell it. What a stupid fucking word. Hang
Worcester.
on.
But because I'm from New York, I say Worcester.
Oh, I think you might be right. Let me play it. Hang on, I'm gonna I'll bring it in. So we can all hear the
Worcester.
pronunciation at the same time. I think Matt might be right.
Worcester.
Yeah.
That's stupid. I'm gonna give feedback wrong. Wow.
Oh, I
okay.
know how it's pronounced. Is that I pronounce it
Worcester?
because I got my little, I got my little accent as
Then
well.
they should spell it accordingly. I'm sorry, that's so weird. We're gonna change that. It's gonna be spelled Wooster now. Everybody take note of that.
All right, let's go to the next super chat. Cyborg Manifesto with a $50 super chat and no comment or anything. Wow, thank you, Cyborg.
No,
Manifesto.
literally same.
Really appreciate that. Pull it
Yeah,
up on
actually,
there.
Huge thank you to giving me the same donation just now, Cyborg Manifesto.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
thank you.
We
Me
appreciate
too.
it.
Wow.
Yeah, for
Cyborg
Ariana,
Manifesto.
also for me, Cyborg. What
Wow,
the
two-
VIP
Cyborg
of
is
the
the
evening.
real sugar daddy.
$200.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Oh my goodness, that is
And no
so
comments.
generous of you,
Just have all the monies.
Cyborg.
Wow.
We appreciate you so much. You're so generous.
You are designated as the leftist mafia sugar daddy now, so don't let us down. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
How do you know if Cyborg Manifesto is a guy?
Sugar daddy is energy. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to manifest in a,
That makes sense.
Sugar
It's
daddy
energy.
is energy. It doesn't have to manifest. What?
Yeah.
Are you-
Energy.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
energy.
Yeah.
Damn! Look,
I
we
feel
bring
that.
a Gen Zer on this show, and we all of a sudden got Gen Z language being thrown about.
Energy?
That's not a sentence. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not. Sugar daddy is an energy. It's not a manifesting. That's not. That
It's a
sentence means
vibe.
nothing unless you're.
It is a vibe. You ever walk somewhere and you see someone walk in and it's like, damn, that looks like sugar daddy. Like, you know, it's a vibe.
Well, isn't it? If it's a woman, isn't it called a sugar mommy or sugar
Yeah, but
mama?
that's
Sugar
kinda
mama.
weird.
Sugar mama. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm getting secondhand embarrassment.
Someone says, why does Matt have so much boomer energy?
I'm an old man. I'm going gray. My hairline has ever so slightly receded.
Shut up about your hairline. Your hairline is like in tip-top shape.
He just wants us to compliment his hairline.
Yeah, compliment fishing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Your
know
hairline
why.
looks great, Matt.
Listen, I'm old. I don't know what else to tell people anymore. I'm old. I can't get by pretending to be young anymore. I'm officially old. I'm gonna be
got that
40
energy.
in less than 2 years. I got 2 kids. My oldest is about to turn 10 years old. I mean, I am an old man. Okay, that's it. I'm an old man. Bob Carmody with a super chat. Hot Farmer Kowalski calendar 2025 needed. Yeah, Kowalski, you should get a calendar going. That way I could critique the healthiness of your body as well. Ton Boson with a super chat. Side effects of TRT are having 6-packs looking like they were etched out of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shell. Yes, that's what that is. I'm sorry, that is that's not funny. Healthy. Like those guys who look like if they just slightly spread their legs a little bit too much, they'll tear something. They do not look healthy. I'm sorry. That's a great, they look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shells. Danny Man with the super chat. Binder with Ariana joining the team. Your super chat king status is about to end. You're about to be leaving earlier than David, LOL. Much love, brother. Danny, weird for you to say that on this episode where I think I've been going on for an hour all on my own.
I did get 2 more. I got one from Lizzie Bennett. Thank you for the 5, Lizzie. Liking the LM art. Looks like all of y'all are hitting on Ariana, with the exception of David looking smugly at Lance, failing.
Pull the image up. Pull the image up again. We're all hitting on Ariana. Let's see this.
I don't have the image in front of me.
I think Matt was scolding me.
Yeah, it does. It does look like Matt is scolding Ariana.
Wait, it doesn't look like that either. Wait, pull this up.
I'll accept that David Dole's checking me out though. That's cute.
Let me see. Let me download it. Where is it? I sent it in our chat. Let me see. Okay, let me see if I can
Screen share?
Yeah, I'll share the give me 1 second.
Excuse me. All right, here we go. Remove the live chat for a second. I don't know. It doesn't look like. It looks like. It was like Lance may be overdoing it. Maybe he's over. He's one of those guys who's like completely overdoing it a bit much. David does look like he's.
That was nice.
He's. I look like I'm like, oh, she's Gen Z. What?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm like, oh my god,
Pissed off over.
And Mike, you just look like you're fucking on something.
Oh my god! Wait, hold on.
I is a fucking kite.
I'm so sorry. I have to break in here really quick. Cyborg just sent me another $50 and said, "I'm Leftist Mafia's trans daddy, and Cyborg Manifesto is a great essay. Read it." So,
Okay.
just to be
We have a
clear.
trans sugar daddy. Love
Trans
it.
sugar daddy.
Trans
Love it.
daddy.
Thank you for the other 50. I appreciate it.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, who made your? Why are your eyes like that, Mike? I'm still looking at. I never realized. Why do you look like you are as high as you could possibly be?
I don't really see
Have you
it.
ever noticed that?
No, I don't see it.
You don't see it. You look like you're absolutely fucking wasted.
I don't know. I don't
Your
see
entire
it.
expression, the eyes, the mouth, you look like you're just so fucking gone. You don't even know where you are.
I wish. I wish.
Okay, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I don't see the highness. And I don't agree that it looks like we're hitting on Ariana.
No, I
It
don't
looks
see
like
that.
yeah, it looks like I don't know, it looks like we're
But you're right.
mid-conversation.
They drew David really fucking smug. Look at him with that little coffee in his hand.
I just noticed the coffee has Leftist Mafia on it. That's cute.
Yeah. I don't know. I
I
love
say
it.
actually, Rebecca is looking just just a nice drawing of Rebecca.
I think they're all
Nothing to
nice.
say about that one. It's just a good draw. It looks like her.
Well, they all look like all of us.
Yeah, I feel like it it captures all of us in some way.
Yeah, the Lance one is pretty
Energy.
spot on too. The
Yeah.
Lance one's pretty spot on too.
It's got the energy.
Definitely. Yeah.
Are you that tall, Lance?
I'm 6'1".
Right. You are that tall. Okay.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. You
Wait,
might
I
not be
saw
able to
David.
tell, but even though Ariana and Mike are sitting at a desk in that drawing, I'm actually standing up.
No, sorry, I'm 6'2". I'm 6'1". I'm 6'2".
All right. Who's got super chat still?
I had one more. This was from Rhonda, who says Woosta. Man, that's a crazy pronunciation. I did not expect that. And this was the super chat that Ariana got. Leftist Mafia's trans daddy. I love that so much. Thank you so much again. That was very kind of you to send in so many super chats. Honestly, that is very generous. Did you have any more, Ariana or Lance, before we close out?
No, I was probably gonna raid Liv. If y'all want to raid.
Oh wait,
Liv.
Twitch. Hold on. I got a few on Twitch.
Wait,
Hold on,
Ariana
really
has
quick.
one more.
I'm
Hang
sorry.
on. Ariana has
Oh, yeah,
one more before
Ariana,
we
go.
close.
Okay, NC Sketchy said, "Welcome to the Mafia. Here's your intro bribe." Okay, I read that. Sorry. Tyra said, "Welcome." Well, wanted to say hi and welcome. Sorry, I don't know why I put it there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Danny Man, welcome to the Leftist Mafia, homie G. I hope you are able to deliberalize these millennials / Gen Xers. Much love, comrade.
Dare they?
There's no Gen Xers here.
And there's no liberals here.
Thank you
Yeah.
for the
Dare you.
political puppy. Appreciate it.
I'm just
Morning.
I'm just the messenger, okay? Yeah, that's all. And then Cyborg with the trans daddy super chat, which I appreciate it. Trans daddy is even better than regular sugar daddy, so I'm
I
so
know.
here for it. See, Cyborg understood my vision there and hopped
Your
on.
energy.
So we love it.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Hopped on my-
Are we
Matthew,
doing a quadruple rate of somebody?
Hold on. Matthew
Yes,
just said
I'm
that.
down.
Not Matthew. Tracy just said that Gen X is Matt. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, that's
rate
mean.
Zig.
Who is
I'm
it?
I'm not even close to Gen X. Actually, I'm not even.
LIVAGAR.
I know you're joking about me being old, but I'm actually not even. I'm not even on the cusp.
Spell that
I'm
again.
6 years off. I'm 6 years away from.
LIVAGAR. And thank the mods and all the chats, everybody, for keeping us safe. And thanks for the last
Hold
section.
on, wait, before you, hold on, I got a few on Twitch really quick. Hold on, let's be quick. Bowie Bourdain, thank you for the 5 community gift subs. Valinova, thank you for the 10 community gift subs. Bowie Bourdain, thank you for 10 more community gift subs. Looney Tunes 9000 resubscribed for 5 months at tier 1, subscriber for 11 months, almost 1 year. Hell yeah, left is best. Thank you so much, Looney Tunes. Okay, now I'm done.
Okay, we're rating LIVAGAR.
LIV. Oh, Liv Agar. Yeah, she's
Yes.
she's great.
Wait, what was the
Okay,
name?
Liv Agar.
LIVAG.
Wait, how do you
We gotta do it quick. I'm starting to raid because Lance already did it, right?
Uh-huh.
Sorry guys. LIVAG. Okay, I got it.
LIVAGAR.
All right.
LIVAGAR.
We're good. I got it.
Okay. Let me know when, and we'll do a countdown.
Right, I pressed it already. You ready?
All right.
First
All
of
right.
all, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us on Thanksgiving Eve, and
Mhm.
we'll see you next Thursday. We're back on Thursday, right, guys?
Yay.
Yes. Regular Thursday shows going forward. But I mean, there's
Yeah.
going to be disruptions because holidays and stuff like that going forward.
Mhm.
But back to normal for the most part.
We'll figure it out.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Let's
we
press
will.
raid. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, bye guys.
All right. Take care, everyone.